Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for the support over the years. It really means a lot. Got a couple of announcements before we get started. Nigeria. We are rolling to Nigeria in a couple months, August 3rd to the 12th for the Oshun Festival. August 3rd to the 12th for the Oshun Festival. If you are interested in joining us in Nigeria for the Oshun Festival, please visit Danfo.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO.Africa to learn more. Again, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO.Africa to learn more. We will love to host you on one of our adventures. Shout out to Marie Shy in the chat room. If y'all don't know, Marie had quit. And I was like, nah, Marie, ain't no, listen, blood in, blood out. You ain't going nowhere. Blood in, blood out. You ain't going nowhere, Marie. I had to tell her, you ain't going nowhere. You put that wrench back behind your name. I put the wrench back behind her name. You ain't going nowhere, Marie. You listen, this is for life. All right. This is for life. You was search for Huru for life. You ain't going nowhere. So Nigeria in August, Zanzibar in September. Then we are going to where else are we rolling to? Namibia and South Africa in November. That song we were playing, the Amapiano. That's going on, that's going down. When we go in November, we're gonna have an Amapiano night. Found this new black. In fact, I just pulled it up right here. Hold on, let me go back to it. I found this oh man, I gotta try to find it. I found this black owned. It's like the first black owned wine bar. First black owned wine bar in Cape Town. I just had it pulled up too. I think I lost the I think I just lost the not lost it, but I gotta find the site. But I just had it up. I just had it pulled. Here we go. Got it right here. Nicola Cocktail and Wine Bar. Like I said, I think this is like the first black-owned cocktail and wine bar in Cape Town. Let me blow this up some. Here we go, guys. Bam, there you go. That's it right there. So we're gonna check this spot out when we go to South Africa in November. So yeah, so that's it right there. So if you guys are interested and joining, please visit Africa. So again, we're going to uh, Nigeria in August, Zanzibar in September, Namibia and South Africa in November, and then back to Sierra Leone in December. If you want to if you want to roll with us, please visit Africa. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. Let's jump into today's topic. Why is Black excellence panicking over who's going to pick the strawberries? If you guys haven't been keeping up with, these ICE raids, illegal immigration, you have a side, a demographic in Black America who's concerned about who's going to pick the strawberries for cheap. You have descendant slaves saying, hey, we need these slaves to pick these strawberries and these fruits and these radishes, work on these farms for cheap because, hey, we can't pay them their real wages, what they're supposed to be paid, because we need these cheap products. We need this cheap food. If we pay them if we put in legal Americans into these roles, because this lie that Americans and Black Americans aren't going to do these roles or aren't going to fill these jobs. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. If you pay them what they're supposed. I don't think that's official yet. The Big Bad Rascal. I don't think that's official yet. There was some rumor about that, but I don't think that's official yet. But yeah, but the argument is who's gonna do all this slave labor for dirt cheap? We can't find anybody, so we can't deport the illegal immigrants. It's come to the point now, many in the community think we might just not make it if the immigrants get deported, and they claim that with the fear mongering, again, it's all fear mongering, that we won't have people who could fill these roles to do these jobs. And this is where I get kind of confused, because I was told that the Black man and the Black woman built the pyramids, are the mothers and fathers of civilization, taught the white man how to take a shower, because during the medieval medieval ages, is that what it was called, during the bubonic plague, where rats were just running around and the Europeans were openly defecating in the middle of the street and peeing in the street. I was told that the Black Moors went to Europe and taught them how to bathe and how to be clean. I was told we built America. We are the foundation of America. That's why they call us FBA, Foundational Black Americans. But speed up to 2025. Boy, if we don't get these strawberries picked, we gonna die. We can't figure it out. Black folks can't figure it out. And literally, there's Black folks saying that Black folks just don't have the skills to pick strawberries and do blue collar work. That's what I'm being told. In fact, let me hold on. Let me pull this up. Y'all favorite Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Your favorite Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. This is her reasoning for why we need the migrants. Yeah, I hit the like, but also I'll put the link in the chat room. Again, I will put the link in the chat room because she's like, listen, who's gonna do all this stuff for free, for cheap? That's what she's saying. Here we, here we go. Jasmine Crockett. Here we go.
I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right, right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right, right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. You're not. We done picking cotton.
We'll call her Maxine Waters Jr. And so I guess farming is now reduced and limited to picking cotton. No, there are people who see the problem wasn't picking cotton. The problem was we were forced to do it for free. Right. She forgets we have our own farms. So again, the issue wasn't picking cotton. The issue was we were forced to do it by whip for free to pick it on a slave plantation. That's the problem. But for a fair wage, there are plenty of people who aren't illegal who will be more than willing to pick cotton, strawberry, radishes, whatever. I mean, she's a black exploitation film. Yeah, jive turkey. Yeah, jive. I'm just waiting for her to say you jive turkey. Like she plays the ratchet black politician on Shaft. Or any black exploitation film from the 70s. I mean, every single loud ghetto stereotype Jasmine Crockett fits the bill. And I guarantee you she's in front of a bunch of white folks. I guarantee you she is in front of a bunch of white folks acting like this. Just being loud and ratchet. We ain't picking no cotton. I mean, come on. We done picking cotton. It ain't about the cotton, Jasmine Crockett. Just ghetto. For no reason.
I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right, right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. You're not. We done picking cotton. enough to find a plantation.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for to say, you jive turkey. Again, I'm just waiting for to say, you jive turkey. A black exploitation film right there. You sucker. Yeah, you sucker. You sucker. Just loud and ghetto for no reason. Like, it's okay to turn it on and off. Like, I get it. You could turn it on and off. You ain't got to be ratchet and ghetto all the time. Mexicaner, call in. Call in. Mexicaner, call in. We're talking the illegal farm workers, but Mexicaner, I might, you're more than welcome to call in. Let me find your boy. What's the pastor's name, guys? What's the pastor's name? Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant wants to be a civil rights activist so bad. He wants to be a civil rights activist so bad. Here we go. Shout out fair use. Shout out to Phil over at African Diaspora News Channel. I was about to say the Advise Network. He had rebranded. But yeah, I was about to say the Advise Network, but African Diaspora News Channel. Shout out to Phil over there, guys. Make sure you go subscribe. He is my frat. He is.
And false prophets.
Yo, I can't believe these shorts from Fabletics are $10.
Guys, he's out the Fabletics shorts.
And when a reporter decided to approach them and ask them a question, Pastor Jamal Bryant had the microphone in his hand. I want you to watch what Pastor Jamal Bryant done in this situation. And in this video, it's going to let all of you know why he's extremely disqualified to say a word about black folk.
Why is the Rainbow Push Coalition supporting illegal aliens if illegal aliens disproportionately affect the black community jobs? Why is the Rainbow Push Coalition supporting illegal aliens?
Oh, we got Mexicaner on. Go ahead, Mexicaner.
Oh, hey, Dynast. Can you hear me clearly?
It's a lot of background. Well, we're good now. Go ahead.
Yeah, my opinion on farm work, I don't think anybody should say they are too good for farm work. I don't care if you come from a family of academics. I don't care if you come from, a middle-class family. I don't care if you come from a working-class family. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, whatever. No one should assume that they're too good for it. It's dignified work that feeds people. You shouldn't turn your nose up at it. And, it's the kind of work that sustains, a good portion of Latin America. Entire nations sustain themselves from the remittances of the people that come in to do these kinds of jobs. So I don't see why anybody should feel like they're above it. In fact, it would be really good for young people to spend their summers, getting their hands dirty. I mean, get back in touch with the earth and, get and develop a work ethic. I think it's a poisonous idea that, no, you're too good for this. And that goes across the board for everybody. I mean, one example of when people do go back and find dignity in that kind of livelihood, the hippies back in the 60s, they went back to the land and, had their community farms and whatever, but they put in the sweat equity. And I think that's probably the most dignified kind of way to make your living, in my opinion. I don't know. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on the matter.
No, I completely agree with you. I think it's ignorant for to say, that we shouldn't farm. Actually, and talking about we don't farm. There are plenty of black farmers. It's just it's crazy. She's just disconnected.
Well, I think she probably objects to people the idea of people, going back to physical labor. I think there's a sense of entitlement that pervades all of America, just not just black people, white people, everybody. That only certain kinds of only certain kinds of jobs are beneath you. That only clean factory jobs or clean office jobs are good enough. And I
Right,
think everyone needs to get over that. And I'm not, I'm college educated, and if I had to do a summer back in the fields, I'm not above it. In fact, I think it'd be kind of refreshing to do it once again. At least one more time in my life.
right. I agree.
But
So Mexicano, how do you feel about the ICE raids, illegal immigration from a Mexican perspective?
well, I think the media has pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. The ICE raid in L.A. that sparked off this whole all this controversy. It was a cartel operation. They brought along ICE because the people involved were a lot of undocumented people working with the Chinese. The Chinese were importing goods that they weren't paying taxes for, and they were working in collusion with the cartels to embezzle money. And the media has completely omitted that fact from the discourse. So the impression people have of, oh, this is just about rounding up random brown people when it's not. Uh, However, I do think the administration does have a messaging problem. I think they should reiterate the fact that the priority is criminals, and the priority should be criminals. I mean, you're not going to remove 15 million people overnight, or ever for that matter. So, we should, concentrate on our efforts where it's most, where it most impacts public safety, in my opinion.
Got you, got you. Go ahead, Yamoja.
Hi, Dynast.
Hey,
I'm in Inglewood today, so I don't know if hopefully my internet will hang on.
nah, you sound good. You sound good.
Okay,
Your Obama
good.
phone's on point.
Stop. So I drove down to LA downtown Friday night.
Mhm. Hey,
Because that was
1 second, Yamoja. Hey, Mexican Condor, I had to mute you because there's a feedback on your end, so that's why I have you muted. Go ahead, Yamoja.
okay. So that was supposedly the calm before the storm. So I drove down there. I was probably down there uh approaching 10 p.m. and was surprised to see so many areas that were flowing in terms of people still out because we're under curfew for a month, from 8:30 to 6 p.m. or something, 6 a.m. or something like that. So there were
Mhm.
still some people moving about, and there was quite a bit of activity at LA Live. Um, there were still restaurants open, movie theater, that kind of thing. But I happened to drive toward MacArthur Park. And I mean, I'm going to say I hadn't been down there maybe in 3 years. And it is just unbelievable. Crawling with homeless, with addicts. It just really looks bad.
Mhm.
I don't know how they're going to get control of that area or if they're even trying.
No, with Skid Row, yeah.
Yeah. Because Skid Row was more concentrated on, downtown, First Avenue, that kind of thing. I
Mhm.
didn't know it had made its way to MacArthur Park.
Really?
Um,
MacArthur Park, that's like Koreatown, ain't it? No.
yes,
Okay.
like Wilshire, New
Right.
Hampshire.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So left there, and then the next day I couldn't help myself. I had to go down there on Saturday,
Mhm.
um, probably around 2 o'clock, and I got to Los Angeles, and uh, I can't remember First or Second Street, so not far from City Hall. I mean, there was a bus parked there, and there were people playing basketball because the bus had like a hoop in the front
Mhm.
and a hoop attached to the back. Music playing, basketball game going, United Nations playing basketball together. Black, white, Mexican, Arab, Chinese, everyone having a good time. Um, there was also vendors, street, the normal folks who were selling the hot dogs with the onions and the bell peppers. It just looked nothing like what you see on the news.
Mm-hmm.
So I shared a lot of that with people who are still concerned about my safety. So it was largely peaceful. And I was there for a couple of hours, just kind of looking around. Um, so, there were a few people who threw bottles at the police. And so that's when the rubber bullets came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were pushing folks back. People were getting close to the 10 freeway. So there was always a push to get them away from all freeways and major, major thoroughfares. For the most part, it was peaceful. I don't know how it turns out at night or later in the day, as it starts approaching dusk. But for the most part, during the day, I don't know where what people are seeing on the news is happening because I just didn't see it with my own eyes.
Right.
Yeah. But, you know, I just feel like you got to come legally. We need the labor, of course, but I'm an advocate for fair wages and, benefits. And so I do believe that if corporations and farmers, hotels were made to pay a living wage, that normal Americans would do those jobs. So they're getting away with not paying. A small business owner who sets up in California, you've got to provide workman's comp, whole host of and pay a whole host of taxes
Mhm.
that people who hire immigrants and underpay them are not doing. And so they're getting ahead, and the small business owner who's trying to do the right thing is just suffering.
Right.
So we've got to get something going. Jasmine is not speaking for me at all. I think she's just grandstanding. And I do think she's trying to take over when Maxine Waters finally steps down as she
I
should have
mean,
done.
what is Maxine gonna step down? Like Jesus.
Listen, I don't know. I don't even see her around LA, and I'm pretty active. I'm in a
Hmm.
couple of pretty prominent groups. We don't even invite her to stuff because you can't count on her to be civil, and she just doesn't represent us. Her district is who she's out there fighting for.
Hmm.
We're not prominent in her district any longer. It's trashed to me. I've driven around there a couple of times and it looks horrible. And she's not even doing anything for those people. She
Right.
stood up a occupational training center. And so that's what she's always, beating her chest about. But I don't know what else she's doing for them. I really don't. So, and I can say the raids, they seem to be happening in those small cities where the mayors are Hispanic. So I think there was a raid of a car wash. That car wash has been hit like 3 times. I think it's in Downey.
Hmm.
And Downey's mayor is Latin. So some of the other, so, those areas are being targeted. Not that they shouldn't be, but I haven't seen any raids in Inglewood. I think there've been some in Compton, and I'm not sure of any in, LA proper. So it's like someone rolled out a map and said, let's go after the areas with the Latin mayors. Santa Ana was hit and is been
Right.
hit regularly because they had something on their they voted this past voting season to allow immigrants to vote.
Whoa,
And
whoa, 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 whoa.
yes, I need to find a
I mean,
video and
I
send it
mean,
to you.
come on, your emoji, come on.
Yes,
I mean, come
yes. So they're being raided like hell because and sending a message. And I think the mayor there is Latin also. So yeah, it's craziness. Craziness. But I'm fine. Things are going on where I have to go and interact. I'm just not experiencing anything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Being able to vote.
Yep.
Well, I mean, but vote in what the local elections or
Vote in general. Yeah.
but how would they be able to vote if they're not citizens? How would they be able to vote in the national
Well,
election?
California, you don't have to show ID, number one, to vote,
Oh
which was
Lord.
so strange for me when I came from Georgia. When I moved from Georgia years ago, I showed up to the polls with my ID and almost got screamed at. got screamed at. So I'm like, well, where I'm from, you need to at least show a state ID. Yeah, you don't have to do that here. Your name is on a roster. You know, I guess it's checked frequently behind the scenes. So yeah, that was on their ballot, local ballot in Santa Ana. Of course, it got shut down, but I believe that's why they're being targeted heavily for the raids. So
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. But link is in the chat room. So when people are saying that you could vote in national elections in California without using ID, we're not talking crazy.
no,
We're talking crazy. Okay.
no. You go in and you give your name, and then your name is found. But an ID is not required.
That just don't make sense. So you just walk in and say, "Hey, my name is so and so," and you just go straight to the booth.
Yeah, I guess if you have a name change or something, or if you're not found on that list, you move precincts or whatever, then that's when some kind of maybe checks and balances, takes place. But when you renew your driver's license, I believe, you kind of make sure, that's a part of, you register then. So when you get a license, and then when you renew your license, they're like, oh, you still whatever, independent or whatever. And so you confirm that at that time.
Somebody says you have to register with your SSN though.
So I registered so many years ago. So I don't know. Maybe that's new, but I don't recall. I registered maybe 25 years ago. So I don't recall that. Even I changed. So a couple of years ago, I changed to independent, and I just checked a box. I guess when maybe I renewed my driver's license, maybe around the time I did the real ID. So it must have been in 2020, because I got my real ID in 2020. So I believe I changed to independent then.
Okay.
But it was just checking a box. It wasn't, I didn't have to go anywhere and prove that I was making this change.
Hey, dog, well, go ahead.
First things first, man. Shout out to your platform and your tours that's coming. You know what I'm saying? I do got a quick question for y'all topic. How are you gonna navigate through the tours with the extended travel bans? How does that work? Dinah. Or is that me?
No, I can hear you.
Hey, dog, well, give me 25, 30 seconds.
Okay, got you.
But go ahead and say what you got to say, but just give me.
I got you. I'll go with it. You can answer the question later. Now, this is the weird thing about it. Is Yomoji? Am I saying it right? Yomoja?
Yep.
Okay. You know the strange things when you hear black people talking about who gonna pick the cotton, who gonna pick the fruit, who gonna clean the rooms. Like, do black people really understand how many farm workers are in the United States? You get what I'm saying? At the max. At the max, with all the farms in the USA, you could probably get about 2 million farm workers. Wow. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, so let's take that number, 2 million. It's 11 million came in 4 years. They ain't gonna get 11 million out, because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy for them to come in. They was flooding in. You're not gonna catch as many people that was flooding in. So even at their best, they might get 8 million at the most. Now let's go with that number. Now that's at the best, 8 million. You still got 3 million left. Miss Yamoja, it was already 67 million of them here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's go with that number. It was already 67 million of them already here. That's on the books. And before they let 11 million, before Sloppy Joe and Kamamela let 11 million in, it was already 11 million in hiding.
Hmm.
Before the Democratic Party let 11 million illegal aliens in this country, it was already 77 million of them.
It's impossible. It's an impossible dream.
So what I'm saying to the black people, don't let them kill you with that straw man argument talking about, well, who gonna pick the farm? It's 77 million of them.
All right,
If
hey,
they
I'm
got
back.
out,
I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, I had like not an emergency, but I had someone who's going to Nigeria with me who went to the wrong visa site to get their visa. So I was just like, you gotta, that
I
ain't the
say
right stuff.
start your own damn garden. How about that? Then you won't have to worry about who picking what.
listen, at the end of the day, it's still 70. That is what I was saying. Well, the first question was, how you gonna navigate the tours with the travel ban? That was the first question.
Ain't no, but we'll travel ban.
They extended the travel ban to Nigeria and
There's,
Sierra Leone.
there's no travel ban in Nigeria, and Sierra Leone is only, it's like a partial ban, and it's only for
Okay.
people who are trying to get visas to come to Sierra Leone. I'm sorry, trying to get visas to come to America who are Sierra Leonean.
Okay, I understand. I understand better now. Now, this is the thing. You played the video with ratchet ass, loose wig, 38 bust down Yankee, Jasmine Crockett's SpongeBob auntie square body looking chick. You know what I'm saying? That's sitting up there talking about who gonna pick the fruit. You know, I'm just saying with black people, we don't really understand numbers. We don't understand that it's only 2 million farm workers. We're talking about for the people that own them, family and workers. 2 million, Diners, at the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
Diners, they let 11 million come in 4 years. Before they let the 11 million came in, Diners, it was already 67 million of them on the books. And before the 67 million, it was already 11 to 12 million in hiding. So on the end of Sloppy Joe and Kamamela's presidential run, presidency, it was by those numbers, 88 million illegal aliens in this country. And we're talking about 2.4 million. So even at their best, they might be able to get 2 million of them out a year. So that's only 8 million, Diners. So that's only 8 million out the 11 million that was here. So it's still gonna be 3 million left. Do you get what I'm saying? Out of the 11 million. And you still had 11 more in hiding. So that's 14, and you still got 67 million that's here. That's still 80 million. It's only 45 million black people at the most. And
Can I ask a question?
it kills. As soon as I get through talking, you can ask a question. How about that? So as soon as you get as soon as black people understand that y'all want to feel sorry, even when Christy was, I love Christy to death. Even Christy was sitting up there feeling sorry for people that's out. How can you feel sorry for a group of people that outnumber you, that's here to take your place? Like it's that slave mentality, that house black house Negro syndrome that we want to see, even though massa out there whipping people for not meeting they cotton quotas and breaking eggs and running away, getting beat and hung, you still got a mammy in the kitchen sitting up there rubbing massa's daughter hair and letting her suck on her titties. That's how weird we are as people. It's almost like we can separate. It's like we're so emotional that we can separate the bad that massa do because our emotions override the bad that they're doing to us, to the point that I can care for this person. I can feel sorry for them, even though if the shoe was on the other foot, they would be dominating us. They would not only be stepping on us, they'll be stomping on us. And we still sit up as black people like, well, we got to be the moral authority. That is, please tell me the prize that black people get for being the moral authority. Please tell me that, man.
The bottom of somebody's foot.
Which part of the foot? The top part of the heel?
The whole
No,
foot. The whole front foot.
that shows that you went to Georgia. The whole UGA, the whole foot,
The
Go
whole
dog.
foot.
Go
the
dog.
whole entire foot. That's what they doing. And let me tell you something. The Latinos watch how the white people do us, and they see how stupid we are. They see how we don't show no love to each other, but we'll show love to some other people. As if some type of way they help. It'll be a different if they was helping us in any type of way, Dinus. In any type of
Hey,
way. You'll
real
get
quick.
these, you get these one or two Latinos that come up here and say, yeah, we were supporting y'all when something bad happened. How about support us when something good happened, Dinus?
Hey,
How
real quick.
about you support us when it's a sunny day? Just come out and look out and what can we do to bring black people into the folds? Coming out and supporting when something traumatic happens. How is that help? And I pass the mic, man.
Hey, real quick, Coastal Smart. They were saying, and I guess in Florida they were selling CDL licenses to legal immigrants.
Yeah. What they was doing was that the legals was using other people. They was doing this e-verify.
Right.
And they learned how to do the e-verify, and that's how they got caught like that. But now what they doing is they making you have to show, like you have to have your birth certificate, social security number, everything. Now you get pulled over now with the DOT, it's finna happen. And on top of that, now the companies that they're doing, the companies, they're gonna be 100,000.
Oh,
It's gonna
wow.
be 100,000. They're gonna shed, the company gonna have to shed the part of their transportation, whatever they doing for as dry goods or commercial goods, they got to shut it down, and for the DOT have to come in there and go over all the employees for it to reopen up. So they shutting that all the way down, because driving a truck is dangerous. You can kill somebody, you know what I'm saying, make the wrong turn. So they're not doing it now. So they cut. That's the only good thing about it, because that's federal. You know, a lot of people don't understand truck driving is federal as far as the laws. And you can get your CDL license is state, but the rules that we go by is Department of
DOT.
Transportation, which is Department of Transportation, which is federal. So that's why we getting that benefit right there. But other than that, man, I just don't understand black people. And I hate to say it, Yamo. No, I don't hate to say it. It's black women that's out here that want to feel sorry for everybody else.
Well, I can say the numbers that I saw. Saturday we weren't out there. There was one car full of three women with banners. Car tag said Arizona, but it probably was a rental car. So if they're smart enough, they wouldn't have driven their own car in the little procession. But we weren't out there. We were not locally here. I don't
They
know about
sure
the
out
other
here in
states.
Atlanta.
Yeah, we one thing I want to say is people are asking.
Oh, the emojis up.
Oh, she was doing good in
That
Inglewood.
Obama phone. Oh boy, that Obama.
Yeah, she don't got out of
Hey,
Inglewood.
emoji. The Trump phones is dropping soon.
$500.
500 emoji. Get you a Trump phone.
Hear me now. Hello.
Yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
All right. So I went to one of the 9 community colleges here on yesterday, and straight up asked one of the deans, like, okay, so what programming is out there? What are we going to do about? Are you able to absorb people who are looking to skill up? So the one that I went to, I won't name it, but they do have electrician training. That's an 18-week program. There are some construction trades. So those are the kind of things we need to be doing. Short term, units per hour is $46 per unit. So these are the things that, quickly jump on an opportunity to skill up and fill in some of these voids. Because they're going after construction sites and, any large scale.
I had Obama phone.
They just won't let you be great in Inglewood. They just will not let you be great
Yeah,
in
Obama.
Inglewood. But
Yeah,
you know
well,
what, Diana, why she breaking up? It's the people that's in the chat saying, don't bash black women. Tell black women to stop going out there doing stupid shit. Like we get on black men, Diners, for doing stupid shit. We get on the YNs for doing stupid shit. We get on every time a black man do something stupid, we sit up there and say how dumb it is for a black man to do it. But when a black woman get out there and stupid and you call it out, now you're bashing black women. I ain't never heard on this channel not one time when a black man did something stupid and we called them out and y'all said that we was bashing black men. When Dinah was on here talking about, and Phil Scott was sitting up here talking about how Jamal, you know what I'm saying, Yoda from the Star Wars looking ass, you know, sit up here cooning and for LGBT and run around with a bunch of big booger wolf chicks doing crazy shit. Nobody don't come up here and say y'all bashing black men. We call out black men. The problem is y'all don't call out black women, so they sit around and do this stupid shit like going in Walmart twerking and licking ice cream and putting it back in. Sit up there wearing bunny and furry slippers to drop off their kids. Sit up wearing goddamn house coats with no drawers on while they walking into the classroom, while they patting their head. Y'all don't call out the bad behavior. So therefore, that's why they act like they're entitled to do what they do, because y'all don't hold them accountable. I'm going to hold both accountable. If a man doing something stupid, it's stupid. And if a woman doing something, it's stupid also. And I
I'm
pass the mic.
grateful I don't come in contact with those kind of women. I mean, you know,
Can
because
I
they would
say
give me a
something real
bad
quick?
name.
go ahead, 1000%.
Yeah, salute to you, Diners, man.
Yeah.
God bless you. Shout out to my Reverend Doom and Gloom, aka Simple. I hear you. And yeah, we got to be more accountable. But based on your college genesis statistics that you provide, if it's 70 million and you only try to deport 2 million, is it smart for black people to basically cheer on or basically have a celebrational energy towards deportation if the majority is still going to be here after the fact? Isn't it smarter to just be quiet and organize among ourselves to seize these key markets and logistics and farming, etc.? Isn't that the smarter thing to do rather than having a cheerful tone towards them while the majority of them are still going to be here after the fact?
Odogu, go ahead.
Was he asking me a question?
Yeah.
What was the question again, Principal?
If million overall
It's
Latino
your
here,
mic.
right?
Your mic is not
Only
clear,
Yeah, yeah,
deport.
Principal.
yeah, yeah. You real muffled, 1000%. I don't know if you on your
You got to
Obama.
Can
get
you
off
hear me
that.
now? Am I clearer?
That's that Haiti spaghetti and egg internet. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Speak a little clearer, bro.
Can you hear me now?
We
Yeah,
hear
go
you
ahead.
perfect.
Yeah, I was saying that if the majority of the people, if it's 70 million people, and the majority of the people is going to be here after the fact, if they're only deporting 3 million, 4 million, is it wise to have a cheerful energy, uh, you know, towards them being deported if the majority is still going to be here? Isn't it wiser to organize amongst ourselves and to
Organize
seize
with
these
who?
key markets
With who? With who? Organize with who?
among yourself, amongst the different black
What
groups
that?
that's here? To seize those markets? Why do you guys have a cheerful tone?
What
If
is the group? What
Who's
is
you
the group you
guys?
talking about? What's the group to
what do you
organize
say
with? You said
amongst
organize
yourselves?
with groups
No,
with
I said
ourselves
organize amongst yourselves rather than
to do
have a
what?
cheerful tone to seize those markets, the farming sector,
To seize
the
what?
logistics sector.
To seize farming markets?
Yeah, I presented
Yeah.
Do you see
options.
the
I
topic,
didn't
man?
come with
These
No,
any
guys read the
you know
topic.
what
cheerful
you're
tone.
saying. See, Professor P,
I'm saying
what you
go
do
for
a
the
lot of the
nations.
time, you talk in vague language. You get what I'm saying?
Me?
You just say stuff like, organize with a market of farmers. You can't organize you can't seize no market of farmers. You get what I'm saying? That is the
Bro, if
most
it's
of the
2
farming.
million jobs, if it's 2
No,
million jobs
no,
available,
that's 2 million. You said now you're saying two different things. See, that's Carla
are
let
you,
you
are
get
you,
away with it. I'm not saying that I'm smarter
bro,
than Carla. I'm just gonna
bro, if it's,
pinpoint on
do the
what you're
math,
saying.
Hold on, Sip, you gotta do the
Uh-huh.
math. If it's 70 million and they're only deporting 4
Uh-huh.
million, right? That means
Uh-huh.
the majority is still going to be here after the fact. So
Right.
rather than have a cheerful tone, it doesn't make sense to have a cheerful tone. It's smarter just to be amongst yourself and
So
organize amongst yourself
won't you just
to
stop
seize
it
those
with that, and
markets.
won't you stop it with that and say, why are we cheerful? So let me ask you a question. What makes you think I'm cheerful?
It's your tone. It's just about the tone of what you're speaking, man.
So now you're the Haitian tone assessor.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
bro.
presenting options.
That just shows how ignorant you are, bro. You get what I'm saying? Because there ain't nothing cheerful about me. You get what I'm saying? You ain't never heard me came on one of this platform and say deport them all. So
That's true. I never heard you say, but I'm saying the tone.
how do you come across and say that I'm cheerful about it? Tell me one cheerful thing that I said today.
I didn't say you said something that's cheerful. I'm saying the tone of the
Uh-huh.
energy is like, oh, da 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 da, and this lady da da
Uh-huh.
da da. Rather than saying that, you should be
So
promoting the
my
idea of organizing to seize those
my
markets.
tone about correcting black people is some type of way cheerful about immigrants.
That's what it come off as, yeah.
No,
It's come off as.
No.
that doesn't even make sense. See, even people that might not agree with me wouldn't agree with what you just said right there. That don't even make sense what you just said. Now, if you want to reiterate that and sound smart, Principal, I'll give you a chance because I actually like you, my brother. You get what I'm saying? But if you're gonna say something stupid, then I'm just gonna have to jump on you, bro. Pause. But if you want to
Pause.
reiterate that and say something smart, then
All right, so
I'll give you
let me
another
take it back. Let
chance.
me take that back. I can't tell
There
your
you go.
intent, but isn't it smarter to organize around those markets? Because if you do the numbers and the math, if they even deport 5 million, that's not even that much. Towards the total of 70 million. Even if you said in your numbers 80 million, that's not even a fraction of that. So isn't it smarter to utilize the time to organize? I'm gonna just reframe it
No,
because I don't know your intent.
no, go ahead.
I'm wrong
That's
for
a better
saying that.
question. That is, Principal, that's a better question. You can't organize. If you're organized for as jobs, then you don't have to organize to get a job, and you can't organize the farms because the farms are already owned. The farmlands are already allocated. You get what I'm saying? So only thing you can do is try to open up, buy some more land that's not farm. All of the fertile farmland is already bought. So that means that you have to start from the beginning. Like most farms in the United States is subsidized by the federal government. They actually pay them. Parts of the year they pay them not to grow any fruit. So you can't organize nothing that if you're not already dug in and built in with the federal government, because that's where they bought them. Most of the farms are federal regulated to the point where they buy from different. Walmart, buys from certain farms, but then the government will tell them, hey, you know what I'm saying, let's switch to this side. Certain products they can get, but they share in the wealth. The federal government go out there and test the product and make sure that it's good, and then they say, okay, well, you need to buy it from this market. Because if they only bought from one side of the USA, the other side of the USA with the products would go under. Do you get it?
I
So
get it. I get it. I get it.
as black people, and most black people are not farm based, don't have anything to do with it. It's not even 1% of black people that are farmers. So you get what I'm saying? So you have to have a farmer type society is black people, and we're not. Most black people are workers. We're 9-to-5 workers. You get what I'm saying? We're not even 40% entrepreneurs. Most black people work a job 9-to-5, driving 89 miles an hour, ducking through traffic so they can punch that time clock so they don't get no more, so their occurrences won't build up. So they won't leave no vacation hours. That's what most black people do. So when you talk about farming, it's not that black people don't want to do it. The black people that do want to own farms, they want farms for themselves. They're trying to build something for themselves and their family. There's no type of coming together, and then they want to just sell to black people. Most farmers in the United States sell to everybody. They sell to China, Australia, whoever. They're connected with international shipping. Most black farmers only sell their product inside the USA and inside their state they live in. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So I just wanted to break down the farming, cause I go get their products. I see how they build. I see how they produce, where the product is going. You can look at the paperwork, you can see where it's going. You can see who the SO is. The SO is like the third party. You can see who's cutting a lot of those business. And I'm gonna tell you something, they got this place in Joplin, Missouri. It's an underground mountain. It's like a city where they store all those extra product. For the government probably buys about 50 million of it a month just to go down there and sit and store down there. They're prepared. You know what I'm saying? You'll be shocked. You go down there, you pull your truck in, and it drop you down about 20 feet. And it's an underground. They got air conditioning, electricity, storage units. They got blood down there. They got seeds down there. They got all type of shit. It's all refrigerated. It's all climate controlled. So those big farmers, that's what they deal with. Individual farmers with 10 to 50 acres, they're just buying it for that. They sell it to their family. They sell it on the side of the road, and maybe the local grocery stores. But you're not gonna be able to sell to a chain of grocery stores being an individual farmers, and we just don't have that. Most of those farmers that deal with big business are generational farmers.
Can I ask a second question? Because you
Go ahead,
mentioned,
ask whatever you want to, my brother.
so isn't this a perfect time to deal with and address the food desert issues in the black community?
What
In
you mean
terms of
food desert?
huh?
What you mean by food deserts?
There's areas in America where they don't have like
Grocery
full
store.
access to like a supermarket and stuff like that. You know,
What
they
areas in America that you don't have access to a supermarket?
Almost every major city,
like not
especially
every
New
major, certain
Orleans.
parts of a city. Like there'll be certain
Hmm.
areas in certain major cities, certain parts of like upstate New York, certain parts of
New Orleans.
Chicago. Yeah, so like isn't that an opportunity to seize that market,
What,
working with?
that's not what y'all saying. What do y'all mean by
So
there's
that
no
means
access
that
to a
it would only
supermarket?
be like a convenience store or a liquor store that had some fruits, canned vegetables. There would be no grocery store within a particular radius, maybe 1 mile, 2 mile radius. And so
Yeah,
people are
but it's
stuck.
like where I live at is in a white people area. It ain't no grocery store in a 5 mile radius.
But you all
So
have cars that you could get to that one that is in 5 miles, right? You have transportation. You're not.
so
So it's based
black
on
people ain't got
geographic.
access to cars. I'm just lost on what y'all
They
are
do,
saying.
they do. But I'm saying like if there's certain areas where there's like maybe like how like there's certain areas where there used to be a market and it left due to like
I
things
understand.
stealing or whatever. If
Right.
you don't think that's this current time is an opportunity to seize those
No,
markets?
no, because
What?
the reason why, and let me explain it to you. The reason why is the coast. In all inner city, if you ever go to an inner city outside of New York, you'll see that's where the most expensive gas. Diners live right in the West End. The gas is the highest. Where's the inner city? Because the inner city taxes on property and business is the highest. You can go outside where I live at, which is outside of Atlanta. Gas is 30 cents cheaper. So why is the gas 30 cents cheaper where people make the most money? It's because of the property, because of the property taxes. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, it wouldn't make sense to open up by a corner store that's selling fresh food and vegetables for people that's like you say, it probably is on EBT. So that means that they only can sell, especially nowadays, they only can sell a certain type of product. And what you gonna do? Tell those black people that they got to buy certain things? Black people are already crying now because they can't buy steaks no more and goddamn little Debbie cakes and Mountain Dews. So in order to open up something like that, you get what I'm saying? First, you got to have you got to have that transportation. You got to have the shipment coming in like that. And then you got to have a backup. You got to have a backup storage. You can't do that in a corner store. If you go to any Walmart, Kroger, you get what I'm saying. I don't think y'all know this, but in the back of Walmart, they got the storage place just as big as the floor. It's just as big. You go to a Kroger store, it looks like that's behind it. It's a whole storage unit. It's probably Walmart has the biggest, but Kroger is half of the store in the back to store perishable goods. You can't do that at a place like that, at a corner store. It just doesn't happen. So Aldi's, places like Aldi's and places like that is your best bet. But you're not gonna build no corner store and just sell fruits and vegetables with the taxes, because you're leaning 100% on the people that's already in low income. You get what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. Just monetarily, it's impossible. But go ahead with your next question.
That was my main question. I thought logistically, like
It's
especially with
impossible.
the events that's going on, it'll be a perfect time to create, black chain markets,
No.
to deal with different issues. But you're saying that's not the case.
It's impossible,
And
because not only do you have to get it transported, you have to store it and you have to ship it. A lot of items that Walmart and Kroger buy, they can't immediately. The only thing they can immediately go to the floor is like water and stuff that's already prepackaged. You know what I'm saying? Goods like that's processed, that's sealed. Fruits and vegetables have to be tested. A lot of y'all don't even know that. They can't put it, like sometimes I pull my truck up at Walmart. Hold on for a second.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat. Somebody said Aldi's garbage. How's Aldi garbage? Guys, what's wrong with Aldi's? I thought Aldi's was like good, affordable
They don't have a
food.
variety. I don't shop there. I feel like I'm
There's
shopping at
Aldi's.
a gas station.
There's another like German grocery store line that's here in Atlanta now. So there's Aldi. Aldi, I think it's Swedish, but there's a German one that just came. That shit in there is dirt cheap. But you got a problem with oh, here goes T Khalid. Brian, you got a problem with Trader Joe's too, Brian Brown? You have a problem with Trader Joe's? Go ahead, T Khalid.
Hey man, this may be a pivot, but man, what do you think about what's going on with Israel and Iran? Do you think the United States is going to get pulled into it, man? I don't
I
know.
hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, man. Trump's tweets is very concerning, man. Because he sounded like a spokesperson for Israel. It's just I don't know if you read his latest tweet, but it was like, we know where you are hiding. Pretty much talking to the Iranian leader, supreme leader. We know where you are hiding, and we can take you out. But for now, we're not. And it's just like, bro, like, why are you talking like that? I don't like that, man. I just feel like, if he's trying to fearmonger Iran into peace, and it's almost as if Israel is the attack dog. But I don't think Israel. I think where Trump is mistaken is I don't think Israel gives a damn about any peace negotiations. I think they're going to attack Iran anyway, and I think Trump knows it, and he's probably trying to save face because he can't go up against Israel. What do you think about that, man? I mean, do you think if the United States would say we're going to try peace, Israel will stand down? Because I feel like Israel disrespected Trump by attacking Iran to begin with.
I think I hope the U.S. stays out of it and just let Israel and Iran just duke it out.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. It is because I know who runs it. It's kind of interesting to see Israel, take these hits in their country. It's crazy. A
Right.
lot of people on X is kind of celebrating because they're like, "Damn, it's about time." You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do think the United States should stay out. I fear that if Israel, which I doubt, but if they lose this war, I think the neocons and the small hats who control everything is going to force us into this war, man. You know, but it is splitting MAGA. I don't know if you noticed, but people like Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, most of the
Yeah.
white conservative MAGA, they are loud and vocal, man. And then the small hat MAGA, like Ben Shapiro, what's that woman named Lauren? God dang, I forget that small hat lady name. I forget her name. She's ugly, but she's very, talking about, isn't it America first to make sure Iran doesn't have nuclear? It is crazy, but bro, it's really the America first versus the small hats and the Christian Zionists.
Right.
And man, I hope we defeat them, man. Like to be honest, I think they could low key are worse than liberals because they disguise themselves as American patriots, but they really work for a foreign government.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
my bad, man. Go
I
ahead.
just hope we don't. I just hope we don't get involved and let them duke it out.
Yeah, and then just on topic, man. On topic, the whole pick strawberries, man. The thing is, we need to get rid of all these people, even the strawberry pickers, because you can't. Because the thing is, if we allow these strawberry pickers to stay in the country, and we are not only rewarding illegal immigration, we are also rewarding big businesses for hiring illegal immigrants. They got to be punished. If their business got to hurt, so be it. You need to be hiring American citizens, and yeah, you're gonna have to pay Americans more money. The problem is in this country is we got big business. I get it, man. As a business decision, man, I totally get it. You want to cut costs. So if your labor is low, you're going to go with the lowest labor. I get it. But, at the end of the day, it does hurt America as a whole. If we got these businesses that can mass hire, but they're mass hiring illegal immigrants to pay them cheap wages, that does screw over the American worker. So, they're going to have to hurt. And yeah, they are going to have to pay the American worker more. Now I don't know what do y'all know what the minimum wage is? Is it like $15 an hour or something?
It depends
It
where you're
No,
at.
varies by
hell
state.
no.
I think
Okay,
it's 20
nah,
here. It's 20
okay,
here.
depends on the state. I mean, yeah, they're gonna have to pay the minimum wage, man. And then if I was Trump, I would tariff all American companies who took their business overseas and decide to ship their product back into America. I would tariff them hard because that, to me, that's just traitorous. It's like you don't care about this country, you just care about a profit. So nah, man, deport them all, punish the businesses. Who knows? Black people got to be selfish, bro. It's like we got to think about these situations. If they deport all the legals, they got to fill those roles. If they're paying at least minimum wage, it could keep these guys off the street and give them jobs, man. Like we got to think strategic. We shouldn't have Latinos take care of all these jobs that we could be doing. And I know everyone is saying own their own business. I get it. I get it. I get that. But not everyone is. And it's just like if the black men especially, we can take over the construction industry and all these other industries. I think this will be good for our community. So yeah,
Yeah.
get rid of them all.
But Tika Lee, do you know how many legal immigrants it is in the United States already?
Yeah, no, I don't. And let me ask you this. I'm kind of like, we need to stop legal immigration until we get this whole immigration situation taken care of, bro. Like, I'm kind of on that level, bro. For about
I
5 years,
feel you,
bro.
man. I
I'm
feel you.
kind of, I'm
Listen,
kind of on that tip, bro. Like,
hey,
we don't even need them coming over, bro. Like, because the
I
thing is,
Legal
bro.
feel you,
Go ahead.
man. I
immigrants.
feel you. But it's still 67 million of them.
That's
I
a
have
lot, bro.
legal I have legal Hispanic immigrant friends who are clapping, singing praises, didn't vote for Trump but happy to see what's happening. Um, these are the white.
Are
Yeah,
they
you gotta get.
assimilating though?
Like
That's
mama
the
for 'em.
question.
Yeah, you got
Are
to
they
get with them illegal.
assimilating
You
to
got to get with
America
them.
or
She got to get with them illegal immigrants friends and get a better that wife get an internet connection, man. That connection ain't it's no bueno. It's no bueno.
I'm
But
near
listen,
LAX, so I can't help it.
hey,
So they are happy to see what's going on. They are their parents came the legal way. and they're glad they didn't vote for Trump, but they're happy locally.
Are they assimilating though? That's the question. Do they believe it? Like, is America their country, or they're like, my homeland is in somewhere in
No,
South
they're
in South
America.
America?
Some of them, they don't go to Mexico as frequently as I do.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
some,
and
yeah,
it's just like the Nigerians here in America. They don't go back to the Africans don't go back to their country. They don't freak their countries back. You know what I'm saying? If they like my doctor is right in Griffin, Dr. Oshobo. You know what I'm saying? In Griffin, Georgia, and he'll tell me he's like the only time he go back to Nigeria is when somebody die or when somebody get married. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. You know,
I have legal residency in Mexico. They don't also.
yeah, they don't go back. So they're living high off the hog here. So I can understand those that wanna that don't want them to come because they know it's gonna mess. It's the same way with black people that like just say if the black people in my neighborhood where it's only like 6 black people, right? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, if we see black people coming over here like, doing the ratchet shit, like we're gonna be offended by that. You get what I'm saying? We're gonna be offended by that because we know that the neighborhood is gonna change, it's not gonna change for the best. Properties and it's the
Yep.
sad thing. I just gotta be honest, man. The property tax definitely go down. You know what I'm saying? When more black people move in certain neighborhoods, it just do. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like at the end of the day, like we have these rules that everybody, we got to get our yard cut every 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying? That keeps the
Yep.
property value. So when people ride through and want to buy a house, you get what I'm saying? They see everybody grass looking good. You know what I'm saying? We got the people that come and they got the little kids that's in the neighborhood and they pay them, you know what I'm saying, to go out there and pick up if there's any trash out here. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't see no trash and everybody grass cut. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, when people come up with looking for houses, our property values stay up over here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the beast, and I hate it. The point that when I was standing in a black neighborhood, it wasn't like that. I used to have people come cut my grass, T. Khalif, and then the black neighbors next door. I wanted to be nice and cut their grass too, but to the point where it wasn't no appreciation, I just would stop my grass right there where my line was. So then their
Well,
grass
you
was
gotta
high
yell
and
at
my
them
grass.
niggas, man.
Yeah, you can't just keep being
You can't
nice to
be
them,
civil
man.
with them niggas, man.
No, you can't be civil with them because that's what they acting like. And it's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing in the world. You get what I'm saying? So like my neighbor, it's an old ass white lady. I've been standing next to this lady for 10 years. We might have said 10 words to each other. You get what I'm saying? If she leave, I wave. If she leave, I wave. I leave, she wave. That's it. It ain't no talking. I ain't got to worry about her nasty ass dogs running over there. I ain't got to worry about none of that shit. But I had to worry about all that shit when I was living in black neighborhood. I had to worry about people walking through my backyard trying to make a path. You get what I'm saying? Hanging up clothes on the goddamn fence. Like I put a fence up and these motherfuckers got clothes on the towels and shit on the fence. Like I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, black people are like pests sometimes. They like gnats. So they do little small shit to fuck with you and then act like you're petty for saying something about it. It's like, you know what, my pettiness shouldn't make you say anything because you got more than me. That's how black people act. You know
Hmm?
what I'm saying? You shouldn't be offended if I come in here and take all your napkins and forks out. You making millions of dollars. That's the rational
Oh
thinking of
yeah,
black
hell
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's why
You got the
people want to.
money.
Yeah, that's why people get away from black people the first chance they get. Like Tika Leaf. Even when I was out there on the street trapping or dying, I still knew that I didn't want to live around here. You know what I'm saying? I still live somewhere. I knew that this one out where I want to live. Why would I want to live with a group of people that wait for somebody to go to work, wait for them to go up to the store before they break it into their house? You
Rob
get what I'm
that.
saying? Like, why would I want to live around people like this that will sit out here and just randomly ride by and knock off your your light, your mirror off
Well,
your car, or scratch or paint your, do stupid shit, just randomly throw bricks and rocks and you get what I'm
well,
saying?
they
Like,
say that's proximity, bro. They say we commit the same amount of crimes as white folks. That's just proximity, brother. So it's that they say it's nothing unique about black crime. It's just proximity, man. So
all
they
I can tell
they
you this.
they will say what happened in the white neighborhood too. That's what they will say to you.
All I can tell you this. In 10 years, my house ain't been broken into at all. And when I was in the black neighborhood, I seen them black people. I never forget. I was out on the road and these clowns sitting in the house making sandwiches, sitting at the table. It was so cliche. I was just so shocked. Like, these dudes are literally in my house making sandwiches and shit while they stealing. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah, 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 bro.
I had
But
that
let me
good
ask you
bread.
this, man.
I had that that Martin's potato bread too. You get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, man. Have you heard when the illegals, I feel like illegal immigrants are the only people that can get black folks to move out. Because I think, when they move in the
Yeah.
neighborhoods, they take over all the businesses and everything. And then
Yeah.
we move out, man. I think they're the only ones that can get us up out of there.
Like, I'm gonna use this word in context, but they get only ones that can out nigga a nigga.
They can. Mm-hmm.
Cause they can sit
They
out
can.
there with that loud ass music. They
Oh,
music
hell
is,
yeah.
they out there blowing their horns. They out there blow their horns. They have them alarms going
They
off.
make the nigga mad. The
Bruh.
nigga who party mad. They make that nigga mad.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You talk about abandoned cars. Ain't nobody got more abandoned cars than the
Oh,
Mexicans.
them niggas. Oh, hell yeah.
You
But
know what I'm
hey, man.
saying?
But yeah, the thing is, I was asked about assimilation because, man, it looks bad in these protests where they're waving like Mexican flags. It looks real bad because it's like, yeah, man, we let these people come over here and they built strongholds, and it's almost as if we got like a third world country is living in this country who doesn't want to be a part of the experience, who doesn't want to abide by anything, and then get mad when we try to get them out of there to their country of origin. And I think we should. I do respect Trump's status when he was like, "We're going to continue to go even harder on these Democrat cities," because what these fake independents that come on your platform, Diners, who's like, well, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. And these liars repeat CNN talking points and they only call Republicans racist. They don't understand that this illegal immigration situation to these blue states give Democrats more seats in the House, because I heard if their census and the population is higher, which is why Democrats will not vote against only legal citizens being counted in the census. They want the illegals. Doesn't it give them more House seats in the House if the population is bigger?
Yeah, if they re structure the districts, you get what I'm saying? So say for instance,
Yeah.
like if they start moving to places like Nevada or Wyoming or something, and if it's more people there, you get what I'm saying? They have to get houses just like you said. So what they the one thing that's good that they do is that they don't all just live in the same. They don't all congregate in the inner city like black people
One
do. Like
area,
even if you come in Atlanta, man, you get 15 miles out of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You might see a Ku Klux Klan cross in somebody's yard. You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that's how condensed Atlanta is. So people always talking about Atlanta, and you wonder why Atlanta has a black mayor and a Republican governor. You get what I'm saying? It's because
Well, will
everything
Atlanta
out
ever go red, bro? Will Atlanta ever go red?
Can I ask a question?
Or is it,
Atlanta would never go blue. I mean, I'm sorry. Atlanta would never go red because that's where all the black people at. And black people are inherently stupid on the Democratic plantation.
Oh, but can
The,
can
the
I ask
question
a
is,
question?
The question is, will black people ever stop voting against their demise? That's the bigger question. Go ahead, Professor P.
No, I think the main reason people vote Democrats because Democrat posture like they care, while the Republicans somewhat don't. Although, like the primaries are right around the corner. Do you think some of the things that Trump is doing is going to play into the hands of the Democrats? That's my one.
No.
That's one question. And two, I forgot my other question, but you could ask
Well,
that
let's
first
start with the
question.
first one first, and maybe you'll think about the second. The reason why is that contrary to popular belief, Professor P, that the Republican polling numbers is worse than Trump's. If Trump, the Democrats at 23%, they have no message. Because if Trump messages to get them out, and the Republican and Democrat is like, keep them here, they're actually looking bad in front of black people. Even the black people even like you said earlier, Professor P, you just like, hey, don't be happy about it. You still afford them getting out of here, the illegals getting out of here. But then if you got a Democrat party sitting up there catching flights to go out the country, and then you got these big Stacey Abrams stunt double chicks out here fighting with ICE in New Jersey about immigrants. You get what I'm saying? That just doesn't make them look good in front of black people when black people know you ain't seen not one Congress, white or black. You ain't seen not one. You ain't seen Reverend Warnock punk ass. He's such a faggot, bro. You get what I'm saying? That you ain't seen them nowhere. And that's what Jamal Bryant trying to be. He trying to get a Senate seat because Georgia is the place where you can vote for a Senate. You can get a Senate seat if you're black and a preacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, we like these shucking and jivers. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't seen Warnock faggot ass since he elected. I mean, he was at the Commandment concert with Meg Thee Stallion with his pastor ass, watching her shake her stinking ass on the stage for votes. Watch Plies jump up on stage with a belt 5'2", shorter than Commandment. You get what I'm saying? But that don't stop him from sitting in the car all day with some false teeth. You know what I'm saying? Sit up there telling women what they want to hear all day. And now, Tika Lee, they got the African Derek Jackson. My chick showed me the new Derek Jackson that sit up there in Nigeria is telling her like, hey man, y'all should just, when y'all meet a woman, just get her nails done, just get her hair done. You know what I'm saying? Pay for her.
Those tips right there, bro.
Man, they trying to do it, but even the money they talking about sipping with, it ain't even. No, what's up, Black Beauty and College Jennings? Let me tell y'all something. First things first. Let me make this announcement.
Hey, Black Beauty,
Collar
we can't hear you,
Nation.
Black Beauty. We can't hear you, Black Beauty.
Hey, let me say this before you jump on, because I know you're gonna know about this, because I was shocked. But I'm gonna say this first thing first. Collar Nation is the new up and coming black show for us, and that we need to go in there and check out. He do nightly shows, you know what I'm saying, where he give everybody a chance to talk. When diners go to sleep, Collar Nation wakes up at night. So y'all
Copy,
make
not
sure.
copy.
Yeah, that is not the fuck out, rubbing making sure his juice and berries is all in his beard. And Collar Nation is up at night, you know what I'm saying, being the voice of the people, you know what I'm saying? So y'all need to make sure y'all subscribe to the brother show and go over there and like or dislike. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Black Beauty.
Can you
Well,
hear
I
me?
just want to say some real quick. I'm sorry.
Hold on, hold on,
This.
hold on. Let me pass you,
Okay,
Black
okay,
Beauty.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Black
Go.
Beauty. Go ahead, Black Beauty.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I said, let him be his name. I like him. Give me his name. What's his name? I have some girlfriends that are looking for something.
Hey, I'm gonna put you on to him. Matter of fact, while y'all do it, I'm gonna search for the Derek Jackson in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? But instead of him talking about how Derek Jackson and all them talking about giving a woman $500, for her to go get her nails done, he talking about he had about 80,000 naira. So he talking about $60. He
About
talking about $60. He talking about as soon as you meet a Black Beauty, you need to come out with $60 off the
And
rip.
you know what, and dudes that talk like that never have women, bro. You never see them with a woman at all, man.
Because he talking to older women.
What's the conversation about today? I just came from the gym. What is it about today? What are y'all talking about? More politics?
Uh, it's always
Do you
about
want these illegals to continue to pick your strawberries?
Yeah,
uh,
sure. Why not?
Sip,
Pick 'em.
sip. I think you could pass the question. Black. You remember the question you asked Dinus earlier about the travel bans? Can
yeah,
you
he
ask it
answered that.
again?
What
Oh,
happened? What was
okay.
the question?
Well, you were talking about the travel ban, the expanded travel ban to Sierra Leone, and I thought it was Nigeria, but Dinah said it wasn't Nigeria.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
okay.
didn't say
You,
Nigeria. They just said one list. It wasn't
I
Nigeria.
know I saw Sierra Leone on there.
you don't think that's going to affect the primaries, Sip?
No, it's not
Nah,
going to affect.
hell nah,
It's
man.
not going to affect the primary because if Donald Trump is at 49%, the Democrats still at 23% because they still have no. They have no voice. So it's just that you're going to send people back into the ballots and be like, vote for us because you hate Trump. That this election showed that that's not enough. You can
What?
tell people you can tell people to go in there and vote against Trump when you let the 11 million people in. You can tell people to vote against Trump when you the one that made inflation go up. Even though you
True.
got people that hate Trump, people can still see the gas prices are 30 cents cheaper in
That's
America.
true.
The food prices has went down. The ad prices don't went down. All the stuff that Joe Biden and Kamala did has went. The prices have went down. It's no mandate. You know what I'm saying? On talking, you can talk how you want to now. You ain't got to worry about getting counseled on your job. You know what I'm saying? You ain't worry about that gaslighting. You get what I'm saying? And make sure you pronounce ain't no more men and women, ain't no trisexual, cisgender, cis Domino's pizza, and trigender, none of that stupid shit. It ain't no goddamn chicks and drag, you know what I'm saying? Looking like a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, sitting up there reading books to your kids at
I'm
school.
not
It ain't no
gonna lie. That's a big improvement. That's one of the biggest thing. The two things I noticed when I came back here from Africa, I've been there for about a year. One thing I noticed was that there was definitely less Chicanos on the streets, and then I also noticed that there was less of them on the street also.
right. It's
I know.
no, they don't have a green light to irritate you anymore. They don't have a
But
green
also,
light to go ahead. Go ahead.
what? What can the Democrats even say? Like, what are they going to attack Doge when Doge is trying to cut the government? They're going to have to attack Trump for the right from the right, but they can't. What are they going to do? Claim they're anti-war? They're not anti-war. They don't have no one who's anti-war. Like, how can they attack Trump? What are they going to say? That Trump is separating illegal immigrant families? But then all the Americans have to do is say, well, hell, when I commit a crime, I get separated from my family. I don't know how they. I honestly don't know how they can attack Trump without calling him a racist, sexist, or a homophobe. And if Trump gets us into this, let's say hypothetically, if we go to war with Iran, ain't no loud Democrat voices against it. I don't think they have anything.
Wait, they
Are we in
can't
war?
because Iran been screaming death to America for 30 years. Like that, Iran is one of the only countries in said world that literally yells death to America when they come on their news channel.
Yeah,
Literally, the only even North Korea don't say that shit.
that's true.
I'm talking about on state TV. Start off there, death to Israel, death to America, before they even start talking.
All right,
Introduction.
hey, guys, let me pass the Black Beauty then to Collar. Black Beauty, you got
Go
any?
ahead, Black Beauty.
I'm kind of
Pass
like
to
I
Collar.
don't have any like major thoughts. I just been asking questions. So I told my assistant like when she starts seeing people coming back home, let me know I'm coming too. Like pretty much, I just want to know when people are getting ready to leave up out of here. So when things hit, I expect this Pan African community that we have here, Dinus, for all of us to, you know, um, collaborate with one another and make plans to get up out of here. Like I'm definitely going back. I'm not, if you think I'm about to sit here and do any kind of civil war or support of any war in this country while I'm over here trying to get a bag, I don't think so. I'll take my laptop and keep getting my bag from Nigeria. It's just that simple.
All right, let me pass it to Collar. Go ahead, Collar. Meet yourself, Collar.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But the thing is, Africa got to do its part. You got to be. We would like to have a country, a place to come back to. We can live halfway. So nobody's asking for, man. This is something the Africans got to stop. We don't care about mansions. We don't give a damn about just what's building you built, whatever like that. All Black America is saying, give us the goddamn basics. Can we do that? I don't care about like last night. African guy said, "I live in 5 bedroom house, 7 bedroom house in Nigeria." Okay, you live in a 7 bedroom house, but you have no paved roads, you have no indoor plumbing, yeah, shit, people shitting in the fucking streets, all this shit like this. So why did you? I don't get it. But anyway, the reason I called in is because I heard Hustle talking about Walmart and Kroger. People don't understand something. I guess he was responding to Principe. That's when I called in. The days of you have the mom and pop grocery stores is done. I wish people would stop thinking about that. Now, what black people can do is become suppliers of already established distribution chains like Walmart, Target, and stuff like that. Get our products on their shelves because they have the distribution capability. When you look at Walmart, like Hustle Smart said, half the facility is storage. They're set up for that. No black business is going to compete with that. When you got to order day 3 days in advance or a week in advance to keep every week spend a high cost of keep bringing stuff to stock your shelves and whatnot because you don't have no storage space and you don't have the money or the capacity to have what they buy in bulk and stuff like that. These people not just buy in bulk, they buy in massive bulk. They could buy a year worth of stuff and put it in there and not miss it and just wait for the stuff to sell to make their money back. Stretched out by like 7 years. Like, hey, we're not gonna see a profit for 7 years, but it's all done. Black business can't do that. You gotta make your money right then and there. So I don't know how Principally thinks that black people are gonna practice these economics that was barely worked back in the days, but we're gonna bring this stuff back in a time of Walmart, Kroger, Pathmark, even when you talk about a small convenience store, you got Wawa, Royal Farms, all these places like that. We're in a difficult situation. So when you judge black people by what we're not doing in America, understand we're the most advanced civilization the world's ever seen.
No,
Whatever we
no, no.
do.
Carla, I'm not saying that. I'm trying to say that like according to the title, to a certain degree, it's talking about who's going to pick these oranges. I'm saying, how is Black America is going to seize the markets even if they deport these people? So I was
Well,
trying to
well,
get a, uh,
look, there is black people in Florida, right? This limits this very carefully. Do you know the whole orange industry in Florida was started by African American ex-slaves? When they had massive picnic, white people came there, the Klan, and burned it down. And look at what's it called, Ocala, Florida. I think it's one Odessa, Florida, one like that. There was a massacre. Orange. They call it Orange riots, right? Orange Grove riots.
But
If black,
Carla,
right.
isn't the question whether they want to do it now? Let's forget the past. Does
No,
these
I know. I
now?
was getting to that. Let me get to that, right?
Okay.
Now, the thing is, though, when you basically have an enterprise, right, and you working for somebody that you're part of a supply chain, everybody gets a bump, what they call a bump up. When somebody joins my agency insurance, right, he works hard and whatnot, and after a couple of years, say, hey, you know something, we're going to promote you to GA level, GA, that's a bump up. Right now, the orange industry in these places, they want to keep black people completely at the bottom picking. No, we should have been in the orange industry. We should have been in the juice making industry. All that stuff. Had we done that, yeah, there would be black people saying, "My grandfather did this. He's a millionaire in the orange juice industry. I'm gonna do this one that." But they completely disenfranchised, took it over, and said only black people. You can do is a pick, and maybe we'll let you delivery on a truck, but that's the highest you can go. So that's what it is. You gotta have sooner or later. The black man's got to deal with this white man if you want to stay in America you know. But saying that thinking that black people are going to go down to the level of illegal aliens is disrespectful. We paid our dues in this country. No, we're not going to go back to picking oranges. Let the
so
freaking
it's
Haitians
Carla.
come in and do that.
Okay.
It sound like you agree with the lady though. You sound like you agree with the senator, basically.
Well, what did you say? I don't know.
She's saying that
Go
black folks ain't
go ahead.
gonna pick no oranges, so they need to stop acting like they gonna take those. They're taking their jobs.
Then all the Latinos ain't gonna go nowhere. They still like the thing about it. If you get 11 million out of them, it's still 80 million left. Like that's the thing, y'all. The way that y'all talking, the way that y'all trying to push it is that the 11 million came into America was the only 11 million that was here. It was still 67 million on the books. It was still 11 or 12 in hiding before commandment law You know what I'm saying? With her goddamn curry goat, dirty wine looking ass, kissing on a white dude all the damn time. Let 11 million goddamn illegal. I'm sorry. That's all I see when I see her. I see her dirty wine, curry goat smelling ass, kissing on a white dude all the time. And I knew that white women didn't like that shit. Black women were like, oh shit, she kissing Zaddy. I knew white women weren't gonna like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's who came home for their men. That was white women. You got black women telling black men to eat a dick straight up. That's what black women been telling black men for 4 years. And black men sat up and was quiet, didn't say a word. And when they got the first opportunity to show their ass, they showed their ass. They didn't show it in great numbers, but still 25% is more than what it woke Democrats up, because they see a trend going up as far as leaving the Democratic Party. The other 4 years, it was 12%. Now it doubled this time. So no matter like Collar, Pastor Pastor Mark Madden say, Obama with his long-legged, slick pimp ass couldn't go out there and shame black men into voting for Kamala. Oprah can go out there and stare at the black men. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't talk to nobody. You couldn't talk to nobody like they was kids. You get what I'm saying? Like black men wanted somebody to talk to them and not at them. Black men been letting these entertainers and women talk to them any type of way every 4 years. But black men got tired of it, and the Democratic Party finally said it, because they knew they was going to blame black men anyway. And that's why you see online right now, you go on Instagram right now, they'll still talk about, black women still talk about, well, the 92% did our part. The 92% did our part. They still, even in defeat, they are separating themselves from black men. And y'all sit up there and sit out there and risk your life for a random hood rat with a 36-inch bust down yaki, you know what I'm saying? With all of that girth, trying to goddamn stuff it in a girdle, sit up there thinking she your friend. She will use you like the battle bot you are. And I pass the mic.
Well, you gotta understand, man. A lot of black men, man, it's frustrating because what you just said is true, man. The way they talk to us is they talk down on us, and a lot of even though a large percentage didn't vote, it still kind of frustrates me that 80% went towards Kamala Harris. And the thing about women that you said was key, especially white women went for Trump. I'm telling you, man, if Barack Obama's wife was white, man, Hillary Clinton would have won, because he wouldn't have got the black woman vote. And that shows how black women have a little bit more respect, to where they're not going to support, even though it is hypocritical, because they praise black women for talking to white men, but they will not forgive a black man for talking to a white woman. I don't know why black men couldn't have been the same. Just on that point, that I don't think Kamala Harris was black, but let's say that she is. Just for the point that she married a white man should show that, do we really think she gonna give a damn about anything what black men do, say, or think? We're gonna be.
Oh, that Obama phone.
Man, Teacher Lee, man.
Kind of proves
Kyla,
that
look.
overall, our community, we engage in a lot of self-hatred at the end of the day. I mean, you know who's going to support you and you know who's not going to support you. I just think that we are wasting a lot of time with these conversations, because as Pan-Africanists, and I know that this is a Pan-African channel, or at least people that, aspire to try to do something in Africa, we should be thinking about what our next moves are, honestly. Out of this.
Hey,
That's
Black
true.
Beauty, do you think it's let me ask Black Beauty a question real quick.
Okay, no
Do
problem.
you think it's self-hate, or do you think it's guerrilla tribalism, gender war?
That sounds very dramatic. It could be that.
That's just how I laid back on my 6 bamboo plush pillows last night, and I thought about it. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, is it really self-hate? It's not self-hate. It's black women have gotten their own thing. So they got their own piece of the American pie. They got put on the pedestal, and that's why I tell.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you right now. Shit, I love my salary. I don't give a damn. Just like that, straight like that. Sorry, money is important. Kudina kache. Huh? The price you could afford. It matters. So me working every day, getting my money, that's important. That's what America's about. Everyone should be getting their money. Right? It's not a competition. It's collaboration.
That's true. You got to get back to family, and we're
That's it.
choosing individual gender over family, which is breaking up the community. But I wanted to
That's it.
ask Kylo before he ran off, or he he's busy man. But I was going to ask him why did he feel that certain people are beneath doing those jobs? Because if those jobs become available and those markets are capable of being seized, like the other groups are doing, you have to be willing to seize those markets or
I agree
those
with
particular
you. But
sectors. You know what I
you
mean?
want to know the
You
thing
can't
is,
look at it like it's beneath you.
I agree with you what you're saying, and that's why I asked that question to Kala. But if we're being honest, like I think that sometimes the blacks here that built this place, generations back that built up this place, they really don't understand the concept of like you don't own this place. Like the contractor that built, I just always make this analogy, but the contractor that builds your house, does he live in your basement? Do he live in your house?
No, he does. He does not. But I'm trying to say you got to look at it from a standpoint of like
So we gotta
seizing key
leave this house
sectors.
and go and demand our invoice. We gotta
Yeah,
leave
but
this house,
black
go
black
back
black
home
beauty,
and demand our invoice be paid.
black beauty. You don't think if you seize key markets, you have control over key markets, then you can utilize those key markets to invest elsewhere. You know what I mean?
And when you say
As a
key
block.
market, you what are you talking about America or are you talking about Africa? Because people
No,
don't
no,
even
no.
want
I'm
to
talking about
say
like a sector here in America. Say like
yeah,
agriculture,
consumerism is at an
or
consumerism is at an
logistics.
all-time consumerism's at an all-time high, and people don't even want to pay the price for those oranges you're talking about.
That's true.
China just dropped tariffs for basically all of Africa. I have bottles that are being shipped from China this week. I am getting a heavy discount. I don't know about all of this that they're doing in America, but this place is on the way out. So we should be strategizing and doing what we're doing to set ourselves up on the continent because we have the
That's true.
resources right now. While this dollar is still in play, we have the
Hmm.
resources. So it's time to
That's true.
go and set up and stop talking shit. That's
That's
my
true.
challenge for all the Pan Africans.
That's very true. That's true. That's very true.
That's all. Now, what you guys want to do in this country, because I'm still going to stay in this country as long as we're welcome. But let me tell you something. The minute I feel like I'm not welcome, yes, I will go live in the dirty Nigeria. Yes, I will. I'll go right back to dirty Nigeria and live right in the island, right? Right in dirty Lagos. It's just as dirty as New York anyway. So what is the difference? I'll go right back and live over there while you niggas, you would do what you want to do. Excuse me, I owe you. Let me tell you something. Do what you want to do.
And that's
Do
true.
what
That's
you want
true.
to do.
Black beauty. That's true too. Even if you look at how Europe was
Shit, I got
built
3 homes. You
officially,
see one? You see
yeah,
one? It's right here. New York City. You see the next one? I did upon St. Catherine. And the next one is in Lagos. I could go where I want to go. Excuse me.
I gotta get like you, man. That's dope. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's very
Excuse me.
beautiful.
My daddy gave me his birth certificate. I dip on Jamaica if I want to. But I like Nigeria better. It's a little safer where I live. And that's where I'm going to be. So this is the challenge, right? I
Hmm.
know we're talking about this American thing, but I don't know if the black people don't see what I see or what the other people see, which is that we are really, it's not about black anymore. It's about the fact that we're not going to be able to catch up with 250-year head start. So if you think you're going to become Walmart, it's not going to happen. Not here, but you could become Walmart in Africa if you
That's
go
true. That's
now.
very true.
If you get up and go now before all the white people start going, because they're already over in Ghana trying to get their
That's true.
citizenships and hang out. They can't do that in Nigeria. No, they can't. All they can do is pay their money, and they don't even have. Let me tell you, the whites coming out of this country going to Ghana, they got the same money you got. Nothing. They don't got the money to influence like the Lebanese got in
That's
Nigeria.
true.
So
But
unless they
black
can
beauty.
buy their way, listen, unless they can buy their way into Niger, they won't be
Mhm.
nowhere next to me. Thank you. Now go dig.
Let me
They
pass
got.
the
They, I'm
to
sorry. Go
Makoya.
ahead.
Go, Makoya.
Greetings, greetings. I just chanced on this. I'm trying to just say hello for now and listen to the flow. I just checked in. So give me a minute to catch up and I'll have some commentary just to say I saw the show come up on my screen and I thought I'll just join. Okay,
I'm
so
gonna come and join
I'll come
everybody.
back when you go through the rounds. Nice
But yeah.
talking to everyone. Hi.
Hello. How
Yeah.
you doing? But
I'm
Black
good.
Beauty, I think they got to learn from the European because even the European, he utilized the resources of America to build up Europe. They could be doing the same thing
Exactly.
by utilizing the resources in
Exactly.
America to build up in the Caribbean and Africa because we have
Thank
always
you.
invited African Americans to go over there,
Thank you.
right?
And if
So
America, and guess what? And what I'm saying it now is if America want to cut us off from their resources, guess what? China just opened the door for you last week.
yeah,
They just opened a door for you last week. So you ain't got to work with these Americans and take their high price consumer goods. You can take the low price goods from China, bring them up into Africa and do what you got to do and make your money. You're not going to make no money here. The best money you're going to make here is working for the corporation. That's it. Unless you want to shook and jive on stage and get paid for about 10 years, then they put you in jail and then you got to pay legal fees and they take all your money. So what's the difference?
Go ahead, woman.
and that, Miss Woman, can I say something real quick?
Go
Because
ahead.
even when they complain about the garbage or whatever in whatever places, whether the Caribbean or Africa, they should be utilizing the opportunities that they already have here in terms of their connection with sanitation to seize the sanitation market in Nigeria in the Caribbean and become billionaires. You see what I'm saying? This opportunity
Absolutely.
that they're not even
Absolutely.
looking at that they could seize. You know what
That's
I mean? That
every
they're not.
market. That's
You know what I mean?
every single market. There's every single market, not just that, every market. Every market that you think you've been locked out of here, go over there with your US dollar now and go set up. That's all.
Go ahead, woman.
Oh, okay. Let me see what I can say. Okay. Let me just jump in. I think I'm getting the flow now. Is it okay? Is everybody waiting in line or can
Go
I
ahead.
speak?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go
Go ahead.
ahead.
Can anybody hear me?
We hear you.
We
Go ahead.
hear you. We hear you.
I'm not
Real quick.
on here. Let's see what's going
Drop
on.
off and come back in. Go ahead, woman. Unmute yourself, woman.
I actually really want to speak to Rokoya, but I'm gonna kind of add a little bit to what Beauty is saying. I agree with that. As a Pan Africanist, well, I shouldn't call myself a Pan Africanist because I think my viewpoint is shifting a little bit. But I agree with what you're saying 100%. But how many of you that are back that have already started taking those steps, and I'm not just singling you out, but other Pan-Africanists who've gone back to the continent and started taking those steps, how many of you are willing to actually help out other Black Americans or Black Caribbeans who want to do that and provide that information for free? Like tell it like, hey, this is what's going on the ground. This is the steps that I've taken, that yada, yada, yada. No one is saying to share your specific business plan, but I feel like Pan-Africanists overall do a lot of talking and we're not willing to actually practice Pan-Africanism, meaning help out the other Black person that's next to you, that's behind you, that's in line with you, that wants to do what you're doing. I'm not talking about if you're doing beauty or whatever it is you're doing on the continent. I'm not saying that you need to share your specific business plan, but you
Where's the line?
become
What you talking about? I understand what you're saying, but I'm looking behind me. I don't see no line. What is you talking about? Where's they at?
okay, let's say me. All right, I'm in line. You've been back and forth to the continent multiple times. You've
That's a
started a
fact.
business there. Are you willing one of
Yes.
these days when you come on live to say, hey,
Get
if anyone is interested,
my number
if
from Dynas. I could get you the citizenship within like 6 months. Yes, I got you. Give my number from Dynas. I'm happy to give you whatever information. But you see, the people that play games, I don't have time for them. You see me? I'm very busy. I have a full career here in America, and I have a business that is about to launch on a Big Brother in Niger. I don't really have the time, but I'm happy to give it to the people that are really concerned and the ones that really want to do something with it. Because what happens, sisters, a lot of people talk about they want to do something, and now you chasing them to give them information that they asked and begged you for. I don't have time for it, honey. So now if you want some information, you gotta go do the work. And you gotta go get my information. And you gotta reach out to me. And I'll give you what I can. Yes, that's the answer.
okay, let's take a breath. I was using myself as an example. I actually,
No, but I'm saying I'm using you and me as an example. I'm showing people because a lot of times, women, a lot of the people are not serious, hon. They're not serious. It's just that simple. They're not serious.
but I think people can become more serious, and a lot of people, so the Pan Africanists who are out there can become more serious, and we can entice them more to invest in the
Here's how
continent.
I know if
If
you're
those of
serious.
us who are doing the work, I feel like with Pan Africanists, it's such a like people
Well,
are
here's
so
how I look.
secretive.
You know,
I don't understand it.
Black Beauty, if how I would assess if someone was serious for real, like for me, Me myself on a personal level, how would I assess if someone's serious? Have you gone on a tour with Dynas to the continent? Have you even been to the continent? If you haven't been to the continent, don't ask me a damn thing about my contacts. It's not happening. No.
Right. I'm not saying, like I said, no one's asking for your business plan and for your contacts. I'm talking about, and I am completely and totally the opposite end of hustle smart, all of his nonsense. But I'll agree with one thing that he said on the live a couple of weeks ago about if you just want simple information, like recommend me a hotel that's nice to go to, that's in a decent area, that's affordable or whatever. Like Pan-Africanists are so secretive. And again, they put this standard of if you haven't done this, then you don't ask me for nothing. Like that doesn't make sense.
But
Like
you
the
know
whole point
why
of
sometimes
Pan-Africanism.
they're like that? Can I be honest with you? Why they're like, I'm not like that because I don't depend upon my Pan African money to support me in Africa. I depend upon the white man's money that I get at the corporation to support me in Africa. So when people ask me for information, I'm free to give it because I don't need to benefit. I don't need to get paid and tour you around Nigeria. You want to know where you want to stay? I got like 10 places for you. You want the list? Go get my number from Dynas. That's for everybody. If you're serious, go get my number if you're serious. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. That's from me, Black Beauty. To the rest of you, Abby.
All right, I really want to speak with Rakoya because I along the lines of what I'm talking about, I have some
Well, let
specific
me see
questions
if she got a
for her.
Rakoya. Can you hear us, Rakoya?
I'm good now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine. Can you hear us?
We can hear you.
I can. Yeah, hi. I was saying that I kind of wanted to join, so I'm glad the sister brought me up. What's the question, sister? I'm all ears. So just pop it. I'm right here in Accra.
Okay. Hold on one second because I'm actually at work. Hold on.
Ms. McCoy, can you? What's your opinion on the topic?
Oh
How do
yeah,
you
I
see?
think I think that honestly, this has been something that has been echoed. We've been echoing it for a long time, and it just seemed like when things were really beginning to gel, we got all these nonsense about, delineation and all. We're not this, we're not that. Like it was really almost like an agent trying to separate. There's a lot of opportunity in Africa right now, especially talking about Ghana, where all of a sudden the dollar rate to the cedi has really, really giving us as an opportunity right now. Although if you are a returnee and you want to bring your dollars in, you're going to get less in terms of value. But the city, the Ghanaian economy is beginning to really solidify. So this is when the rate on investments, this is when you can come in and you can really begin to see the growth of your investment. And there's opportunity everywhere. I keep telling you guys, I started here a medical device company. I left the US 2.5 years ago. I was in the Silicon Valley. I was in IT software services. I took that knowledge, I took my contacts in biotech, and I came here with African American partners, and we started a company. And I'm telling you that it's just open. The kinds of solutions, and even healthcare alone, where the African middle class is growing. We are able to afford. I mean, Ghana has national insurance now. It's not at the level that Americans have it, but at least the government has assigned part of the GDP to paying health insurance for patients. So there's opportunities
That's
to
beautiful.
provide solutions. Look, in
Mm.
Ghana right now, a big area is in people setting up these nursing facilities for seniors. They're not talking about nursing homes, but because a lot of our population has moved from rural into city. Right now, Ghana, about 80% of Ghana is urban. It's no longer rural. We have electricity in 85% of the whole country, constant electricity. So all this translates into actual development. And I'm telling you that people they're raking in. I mean, I know somebody in Ghana who makes $7,000 a day from all her investment. Do you know what that means? And she's not even like trading all these stuff. She's in stationery, she's in packaging and all that. There is so much opportunity for those of us who've had access outside the continent we've been able to build into the capital of the Western society, so to speak. But that's another story. That's from labor of our forefathers. They built that capital because they got free labor. And we can come and we can turn that into, now we taking that back home with the knowledge, with the partnerships, with the respect for each other. I really don't understand what is wrong with Black people's heads. We're never proactive, we're never strategic, we're never sitting down and saying, look, this 5, 10, 15 years from now, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to position myself. Me personally, I am strategic thinking. I think power, I think ambition, and I'm just moving, moving, moving. In 2.5 years, if I tell you what we've accomplished, just 3 women, I mean, come on. Black Beauty, you're in Nigeria. If you are right now, I may hit you up because I need some information. It's just amazing. So on this, I'll just kind of, yield and let the sister talk to me. But the topic is right on. Let's try to be more strategic. Let's try to work together. Africa needs us now more than ever when the whole world is in chaos. Maybe now they'll give us a chance because they're too focused on themselves. They'll leave us alone. They'll leave the revolutionaries alone. They'll not
Miss
come after
Okoye,
us.
Miss
Yes,
Okoye, can
please.
I ask you another question?
Sure, please.
How you think the current situation in terms of the proposed ban is going to affect the Ghana CD? You think it's still going to strengthen regardless, or they're going to utilize the regional blocks to strengthen themselves? How do you proceed?
Yes, it's not going to impact because the growth in our currency is not coming from what, of course, yes, the dollar's depreciation is based on some of the tariffs situation coming from the US, but it's because Ghana is banking gold. We're really storing our gold. We're beginning to take the artisanal gold, I mean, you've probably heard about how there was a lot of small scale gold transactions that people were just literally digging their homes and collecting gold, and all of that was going into Dubai through the back door. So Ghana wasn't getting the credit, but they're clamping down on that. So it's the gold reserves that Ghana is accumulating that is causing the Ghanaian city to go. I mean, literally, it has
Amen.
gone
That's good.
from 15. Yeah, and so that's why, I mean, if you link that up to what's happening in Burkina Faso and stuff, we need to have bird's eye views. That what is happening is a unique opportunity right now. Most of the Sahelian countries, they can't go after them. And Ghana has changed the trajectory in moving away from the previous government, who were more trying to kiss us than being a little bit more independent thinking. So this is the time, my friend. I'm telling you. Anyway, let me take the question from my sister because I'm sure she's waiting.
Miss Woman.
Yeah, I think, woman, you wanted to ask me, excuse me, wanted to say something and I'm waiting. Oh, she probably dropped.
I think she's at work. She said, "Can I ask you
Ah,
another question?"
please do.
One of the things I noticed that African Americans always loosely say, they'll talk about how the lack of investment from Africa in America. Do you think that um the building should be both ways in terms of investing back and forth, and due to some of the trauma through what happened through the transatlantic slave trade, do you think that some of the trauma kind of makes them fear going to invest in Africa or fear trusting the African? And do you think like
Uh,
Africans investing in America as well will increase the potential of investment and the desire to reach the hand of African Americans?
okay, so I'm going to pass what you said a little bit because when you say that Africans not investing in African American communities, I think what you're trying to say is like public institutions or maybe the African government. Is that what you're saying? Because if it comes to just
The private
Africans,
sector mostly, like.
because a lot of Africans are, I mean, when you look at even in Nigerians and their investments in because they're the larger group, so I use them, but in small communities, you see that, I mean, the Ethiopians, they're investing. The Africans who are in the US are already investing in, in real
But
estate, they're investing
is
in
this is
business.
this a, is this a fiction Nollywood or is this real life?
No,
What
but
are you
Carla,
talking about?
they do contribute. That they do
Hey,
contribute. I'm talking about investment, my sister.
country what? I'm just going
Yes,
by my city. I'm going by my
No,
city. We
but
have like
Carla,
20
listen,
Carla,
African
Carla,
I
countries.
mean, do
Carla.
you want statistics, please? Alan,
I don't
please.
care about that. I think everybody. Look, let me talk about African statistics, right? Africans abuse that privilege of creating statistics
Oh my
because
goodness. I can't, you know what? I'm just not
Carla,
even
come
I'm
on,
quiet.
just
man.
I
thinking about
can't deal with people
reality.
like this.
Just no. I'm just
At
telling you the truth.
least,
I would like for Africans to come here,
you
get
need
rich
to
and
be,
stuff like that. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
please,
question.
you have to stop this.
Hold
You
on,
have
hold on,
to
hold on.
stop it.
Let me say
Stop
this.
it.
Let me say this.
Let-
Oh, let me say. Oh, let me say this. No, let me say this. Right. When an
You're not
immigrant
going to
comes to the
interrupt
country,
me. You're not going to
the
interrupt
first thing,
me. You're not going to interrupt me.
hold on. The first thing, yeah, because you're saying a bunch of lies. The
No,
first
Carla,
thing
let
immigrants
her finish,
community
Carla.
does, the first thing immigrant community does, they show their success is they get into food and beverage. Restaurants, stuff like that. They show you their culture, right? That leads to distribution in wine, food products, everything like that. There's no African restaurant chains in America that everybody frequents, like the Chinese
And
and
it's not
everybody else.
only
Come on.
Africans.
No,
Allah,
but
I talked. Why are you jumping
I
into
said that's the
restaurants?
first
We
thing.
were talking about
That's the first
restaurants.
thing. You know what comes after
but
that?
Carla,
Next
Carla,
thing you know,
they,
they're building hotels, they're building businesses,
You're
Carla,
just
industries.
so rude. You're just so
they
rude, Carla. You could have been quiet. I'll be quiet when I'm done. You can jump in. You always have this behavior, and I don't have the time or the notion to get into arguments with adult men. You be quiet. I'll be finished. You can jump in. I never said anything about us. I talked about investments that Africans who are in the US are doing. I said real estate. I never talked about restaurant. You jump to restaurant. They're healthcare. I mean, they're Nigerians who have hospitals. They have emergency centers.
Okay,
That's
where
investment.
are they? Name them. Name
So,
them.
what are you talking about? That's
Name them.
I'm not you.
I work in the healthcare field. I know the Hispanics have Molina. Molina, that's a Hispanic owned
You,
healthcare
you
system.
live in the healthcare in it. So what have you been to Northern
I work in the
California? I will
healthcare there.
tell
I
you
know
this.
everybody.
Oh
I know all the
Jesus.
plans,
Carla, you
everything.
gotta
You
let her
don't know
respond, man.
Jack. You don't know Jack. You're lying.
Well,
You
I'm in
you
the
just
healthcare. That's
think
what I
you
do
know
for a
so
living.
much.
That's what I do for a living.
So,
That's how I
Your
make my
mic, your
money.
mic is messed up, Carla. Your mic is
Do
messed
this
up.
is how I make my money. I work in the healthcare, and I'm sorry. Now we do have a lot of Nigerian nurses here, and we got a few nice resident doctors, not
listen,
attending doctors.
you
I've never
also
seen an
I
attending
live in
African doctor.
California, and that's a totally different. I also know Nigerian doctors who have their own healthcare practices in Northern California. Not one, not two, women and men. You can't just
Yeah,
generalize
that's
because
fine.
of
Yo,
your
that's
experience in
look.
Maryland.
That's look. Let me ask you a question. Okay, that's fine, right? Why can't people
Okay,
just
so
come
that
here?
means that
Why
means
can't
you
people just
have to ask.
come here and whatnot, and stop saying like trying to make it seem like we need you. If you want to contribute to the black community, fine, we welcome you. But don't act like
Yo,
we need you.
Carla, I asked her a question.
That's so
You
freaking
kind of,
annoying. You know.
So rude. I will be
Carla.
quiet.
I asked her a question, bro.
This over and over and over again. You just can't be quiet. Please be quiet. You'll get your chance, Carla. You're just so rude. Nobody hears what you're saying. Please, can you ask me your question? I just told you. Are you're talking about the private sector?
Yeah,
And I
private
said
sector.
to you, here about the people in America. You made some great allusions, and I wanted to reference that to you. A lot of Africans here in Africa who may be very wealthy. I know in Nigeria there are some wealthy people, and in Ghana they're very wealthy people, but Ghanaians tend to be a little bit subdued. They don't want their wealth to be publicized. They're not very showy. But I'm telling you that the reason a lot of them can't take that money into the US and do investments, one is lack of knowledge. A lot of people who haven't traveled out, it takes us Africans quite a bit of time to understand, even those of us who go there to become, students and things like that. It takes us a couple of years to really understand the dynamics because we're not taught about it. But a a lot of Africans here are even worse. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand the play and how to invest or the partnering. And then we have issues of visas. A lot of Africans don't get the visas. This is public knowledge. You come in to go to the visa and they refuse you. They only give little quarters. So it is only now that I think that with social media exposure, people are able to make the connections necessary to make these types of private investment. But in even those who are already there, people, Eulalia, myself, I just gave up my name, but sorry. Rokoya, when I was in the US for 25 years, I had an IT business with my partner. We were an African woman and an African American woman. Most of that came from my pulling resources that we never had to borrow a dime from take a loan to start
That's
our
beautiful.
business. And
Beautiful.
by the time we were through, we were making six figures and more. But what I'm saying is that kind of investment, if it's not institutional, it must be through the kinds of bridges that we're building now. When we build the bridges, we have to be able to support the bridge with investment and funding. But that comes with all the mess that already exists in our own interaction with each other. First of all, African Americans who know Africans are the ones who we can partner with. Number two, we have to work against some of the restrictive laws that make it difficult for Africans to move their funds from Africa. Most of the times when they move their funds, it is stolen money. So they cannot use it in investments that are very, very transparent. That's something that has to be worked around. Thirdly, it's issues of, like I said, people being able to trust their partners, understand what kind of business they're going. That's time. We have businesses going back and forth. It's just that it hasn't scaled up where you can see big things, but it is happening. And all you have to do is do this research. If it's whatever you're interested in, the internet is there for you. You do the research, you're going to find the data you need for you to jump into something. And on that, I yield.
Well, God bless you. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that a lot. And I think like even if you look at the other groups, there's a bridge that connects them
Hey,
back to their
Principe,
source of
what you
origin.
should be
Yeah.
doing, what you should be, young brilliant man like you should be trying to get a sister in our uh, courageous Nigerian woman. Her, a lot of energy, right? Black Beauty goes to Nigeria, right? You guys should
Hmm.
be forming a Haitian Nigeria connection. You know, Haitian Nigeria connection. Leave Black America to me. I know my people. I know what we want. And they're never gonna partner with you on that. I'm telling you. It just is what it is. I'm the only thing connecting Black America to Africa, because most Black Americans have written the continent off. I'm just being honest with you, right? And coming over there, bloviating, talking about what you got and this, that, and the other thing, just insults people. You make it even worse. I'm saying there's the way we can come together, but it has to be mutual respect. This idea that Africans are coming to America to save us and whatnot is so patronizing and insulting. And a lot of times Africans don't even know what
Who
they're
use
saying.
those words
No, I'm
saving?
just saying
I'm
that
talking
when
about
people say something
partnership.
like, "Oh, Africans are contributing to the black," no, they're not. I don't
They
expect
are.
them
Yes,
to.
they are, bro. What are you talking about,
No,
man?
they're not. No, they're
Princess,
not.
you have
We
to
are
They're contributing
contributing
to
to the
understand.
themselves.
workforce.
They're
We
not
are
contributing
contributing
to
to the
us.
middle class.
You know
What are
what
you
I'm saying?
talking
Hold on.
about?
Look. What are you
The
talking
Caribbeans
about?
and the Africans are contributing, bro. What are you talking about?
Friendship,
Contributing to what? They contribute
friendship,
to. They're paying their taxes like everybody else.
friendship.
They're
What you
Again,
have to
contributing to
they're
us.
understand.
contributing.
Excuse
Lord
me,
have mercy. It's just so
friendship.
annoying when you guys say that shit. You know?
Excuse me, friendship.
If it's
What you have
okay,
to
look.
understand,
I'm
understand.
about to walk into my office right now. Can I call any African up and give me some leads or some business opportunity? Hell, fucking no. Let's get with it. I deal with work with a lot of Filipinos, whites, everybody else. I have no business association with Africans, and I'm high level businessman in the state of Virginia. I have none. So I'm just going by what I see right here.
But if you
I
go to a
want there
state
to be
over in
Africans to come
Maryland,
over because that can
I
help us as
promise
a
you're gonna run
continent.
into Africans in your sector in Maryland, bro. So I salute you
Well,
and what you're doing.
I'm
I'm not gonna
about to start
degrade
working
you.
in Maryland. We'll see.
Exactly, you're gonna run into Africans
I'm
there.
gonna
There's a
start
lot of
working in
Africans
Maryland.
there.
Open an office in Maryland, so I'll see.
God bless
You
you. Keep
know.
growing.
So the
Keep
bottom
going.
Well,
line is, yeah, I'll see what's up. But I just keep
but
hearing
I
the
don't know
same
what
thing.
happened, Kala. I thought you used to be a person that was a proponent for Liberia. What
Yeah, I
happened?
know. Hold on, I am proposing for Liberia, right? But there's a thing called reality. Reality. I've been like 5 times and whatnot, and like I said, put so much money in this country and everything like that. And I'm saying to myself, why am I doing all the damn heavy lifting? You know,
That's
why is we
that's
can't get a break? I can't get a freaking break in Liberia. I've been working with. I'm a member of the Liberian Tourist Association. I brought a tour group there last year. You know, I contributed to Liberia. I did
Hmm.
my damn best and whatnot. And I want Africans to start getting serious about unifying and building with us. Right now,
That's
we
true.
have absolutely nothing. There's
That's
no
something. I want to
policy,
speak
no
to
nothing.
Okoye.
You hold up. Whites, Africans invite whites, Chinese, everybody else. There's a China man in Ghana, right? The chief gave him some land go. He's paying the people 45 cents a week. And the Ghanaian went over there and whooped his ass. He paid him like, this is stuff we've seen. You invite the Chinese in, you invite the Europeans in. The Europeans own all the gold, everything like that in the continent. They all the contracts, everything like that. We can't get nothing. We can't
but it
nothing. We have no access to the oil. Hey, like, when do we get a break out of this? It's all one-sided. It's all what we can do for them. That's why I said
It's
when they
not
say they
one
coming here,
sided.
take
There's African
I'm
I
gonna
Americans
fucking
that
businessmen
lie.
over
color,
there,
you
bro.
sound like you're
It's not true.
African
It's just not
Americans
no,
in
but
true,
I
West
bro.
know what
Africa,
Kala's
we
talking
do
about.
invest in
I
the
know what he's
continent. We
talking
invest in the
about.
continent, right? We take a
It
risk.
needs
We
to
invest in the
increase, but
continent.
he's
More
trying to
people
make it seem like it
go to
doesn't exist
Ghana,
at
they
all.
lose money.
No,
We
It
it
people
exists.
doesn't.
constantly going to
No,
Ghana and we're
Princess,
okay,
losing.
I'm gonna
but
tell
if
you right
you're
now,
looking
it doesn't.
for
It doesn't
if you're
exist.
looking for that kind of special I don't know the word to use, but if
He
you're
wants the
looking for
Michael
that
Jackson treatment.
treatment, you have to come as a group, or
With
like I
money.
said,
With
through
money.
this individual partnering. Because let me tell you something, okay? a lot of a lot of you don't seem to understand what African actual land entitlement and things are. Our governments may be able to operate on a certain level, but the people, I can only talk about Ghana for this case. The people who actually own the resources are the chiefs and the kings. They own those lands. And so if you want anything out of Ghana, for example, you must ally with the king. If you remember, it was a king and his kingdom that gave free land to the diaspora. It wasn't something that the government can force to happen. The government can't appropriate land. If they appropriate land for public use, if they don't use it within a number of years, it
And,
must
and,
go
and
back.
now
This
they're
was
trying to take that land and Sable. They're trying to take it back.
they
They wait
can't
till you
because
build
it
someone.
doesn't
Now they're trying
belong
to take
to
it back.
them. Africa,
Well,
the land does not, in Ghana, the land, and this was a deliberate thing that Kwame Nkrumah did. So if you want any kind of resource, because the land also goes with the resources, what the Chinese have figured out is this, because they don't come in and say, why don't you invite us? They find the Africans who are part of that tribe, and whatever they deal with, they deal with. They come in there and then you see the Chinese working, but behind them are the Africans who actually own that land. So if you want to have resources, stop talking about the government. The governments don't own any land in Ghana, never. It's always the kings. Our lands are vested in our people. Now, does it mean that all the kings are honorable? No, some kings are not. And so they become greedy and they do what they did in the past. They will sell the land for trinkets. If you go to the kings that are progressive, they get into partnership. So this is free advice to anyone who really has this desire. You find the person who is going to connect you to the kings. The kings are not there looking for, hey, African Americans, come here, come here. It's not the way it works
yeah,
because
but
they're not open to that kind of knowledge. But you, as an African American, and many have done so successfully. There's a brother who has a show on YouTube. His name is, I think he goes about the repatriated African, but I know him personally. He's on the Kosombo Lake. He married a Ghanaian woman, and they own a restaurant on the lake. He talks about how he got his land right there. He kept walking and going up and down until the kings saw him so many times that the connection was made, and they gave him this land right on the banks of the lake. That guy is building a resort. I've been there several times. His name is Mohammed. What is I don't want to give him up like that, but you look for him. He's the real repatriate something. It's because he made that move.
Mhm.
They connected, and now he's going to be one of the biggest resort owners. He's doing it is on his own, small. He started with the restaurant, and they're doing boat rides and so on and so forth. So these are some of the things that you must avail yourself of. You must find that
I
the
mean, look. Let me
Africans
say this. Let
will
me say
give
this.
that
If
to
anybody
you.
wants to look, anybody
So
wants to
like the
go
opportunity to
to
speak.
Africa, and we go to Africa and whatnot, like I said, I tell people all the time, even though I'm in Liberia, I go there, I'll be there in a few months. When I do something in Liberia, I said, that's me. I have major connections in Liberia, high level connection. I still don't tell nobody else they can do what I do in Liberia, because they're not connected like I am, so I have responsibility, to tell people the truth when I say, look, I can't guarantee that your business is going to be safe, whatever like that, so don't come for me when things go wrong, and goes left like this. You're on your own like that. Yeah, it's a beautiful country, a lot of opportunities, but I'm not putting my seal of approval on nothing because I
Yeah,
like I
but
said, I've been
Carla, you had this BIAO whatever. I don't know whether you still have it
yeah,
because I was on your
we still got it.
I
I
was
got a
on your
chapter in
subscription
Liberia.
list. And you kept, I've been following you for a long time because I subscribe to whatever your emails and stuff when you have these meetings. Point I'm trying to make to you is this: you must be true to where you stand. It looks like you've deviated from your story. You're trying to. I have this feeling that you're also trying to capitalize on certain movement to advance your own thing. Investing investing in Africa is not a short-term thing. Go there and make your money and turn around. If you do that, you're acting just like a colonizer. You must see the vision longer than that. You must see a vision in which you and the people are truly making that connection and moving
Oh
forward.
yeah, that's
When I
exactly what
hear
I'm
people
doing.
talk,
That's exactly. You
yeah,
know
but when
something?
you start
It's
talking
actually
about,
harder. It's
we
actually
don't.
harder when you got a vision. If I had no vision, look, I could be in Liberia right now, making a lot of money if I was crooked. Just want to make money. Because I believe this is my values, right? I believe that nobody in Africa should not have the basics.
Correct.
Every kid should have school, health care, dental care, clean water, electricity, all that. I believe that's a value. And I don't want to participate in a society where people go like, that's why we donate to schools and stuff like that. I brought the tour group over there. We took a couple of schools and we bought all the school books and materials and whatnot because we care about the children.
Hala, let me
You
ask
know?
you a question. Can I interrupt you and ask you a question?
Good.
See, you're giving yourself up because here you are pushing back against Africans thinking that they're coming over here to save us and give you anything. And look at the language you're using.
Okay, no,
We went
hold on.
there
Let me say
and we
this.
built school for them
Let me
and we
say,
did this for them.
let me
Said the
let me say
Africans
this,
are
Mara.
so
Hold
powerless.
on, I only
You're
so look,
doing the same thing.
I'm only replying
You're
to
just revealing yourself.
hold up. I'm only replying to principally saying what Africans can invest in Black America, and I'm saying, okay, that's never gonna happen. It's never happened, right?
It's called a partnership,
Most
Kyler,
African
man.
American,
It's called a partnership, man.
hold up, principally, let me finish. Most Black people relationship between Black America and Africa is people like Ja Rule building a school in Ghana, right? Oprah Winfrey building
There's
a
also
school in
teachers
South
here,
Africa,
Kyler,
right?
that are
There's never
African,
the
bro.
other way around. Dang
There's
if they don't have
doctors
any
here that
schools in
are
America.
African. Uber drivers here that's African.
I took a tour group to Liberia. We donate books to it. My point I'm trying to make is that you fell right into my trap. Is when I'm going to hear about a Ghanaian or Nigerian tour group coming to the poorest neighborhoods in America and touring, spending money in the businesses and helping out with stuff like that. It doesn't exist. That's the point I'm trying to make.
How do you
But it,
know that?
but it
Because I
can.
know. I
It
know.
Kyler,
can.
there's
I know.
hold on,
I
but
dare
Kyler, there's
you.
African doctors here. There's African
Oh
teachers here. There's
Lord,
African mentors here,
stop,
I
Principal,
think we
stop.
just
contributing
haven't
to the
built those programs
African
up.
American community.
It's very possible to do something like that, Kala. I think we haven't built up,
Carla,
like there can be programs where we do like exchanges for the youth where they go for the summer, they go to Ghana, or they go to Niger, or they go to Sierra Leone and they get some culture, they learn a language for a couple months. Like there are things that can be done. We just haven't
We're already
built that
doing
up.
that. Well, my sister, what you call Dr. Kanu, she does that, right? She brings African American children to Liberia like three
Yeah.
times
And
a year. So
so
we're already
there's
doing
stuff
that,
going, yeah, so
Yeah,
there's stuff going on
if they're
already,
already doing
Kala.
that, why are you saying that
we're
it's
already
not
doing that.
happening?
We're already doing that. We're already doing
Yeah,
that.
why are you saying
And
it's
well,
not happening?
Kyler,
we're
I think
contributing greatly
women
to
want to talk,
Liberia.
man.
Right
Women
now,
want to talk.
now we got an African American head of the University of Liberia. We got the African Americans getting the citizenship in Liberia. We got tour groups, investment groups coming to
Okay,
Liberia next
Kala.
month
So
and
basically,
everything.
you
So
want to do the
Kyler
we're
right
think he's
doing all
thing
the
bigger than
stuff.
the
Y'all
chief
talk
over
and
like
say
there.
it
That's
like
what he
that.
think.
y'all
He think he's
talk.
bigger than the
Y'all
chief.
talk. While y'all talking, we're doing.
You think you're
We're
bigger
doing
than the
it.
chief over there, Kyler. I think women want to talk,
I don't
man.
want to
Let
talk to
women
no
talk.
chiefs, man.
You think
That's
you're
out of the
bigger than the
question. I
chief,
don't
bro?
talk to chiefs.
I know. You think you're
Liberia,
bigger than the chief.
I
So
don't talk to a chief. Liberia.
you gotta learn from the Europeans. The Europeans partner. You don't want to partner. But can you
Oh, we're
pass the
not
mic to a
Europeans.
woman?
No, we're not Europeans, bro.
The
All right,
Mexicans
man.
partner with themselves. The Chinese are partnering. You don't. You're the only person that want to partner. You're a savior of the black race. But can women
Yeah,
talk?
the
Can women
funny
We
thing
talk?
already
is
got partners. I
he
already
keeps
got
saying
partners on
that
the
he
ground.
doesn't believe in that
I
savior
got
thing, but
Liberian
then he
partners. I
speaks
already
like a
got partners in
savior.
Liberia. I got
The
partners
chief.
Yeah,
in
Why you
that's
not?
Liberia.
very.
Why can't
That's
you?
highly
Why can't
like
you say the chief?
some of my friends on the continent. They always tell me that's highly offensive when Americans come over here and
It
think they
is.
gotta do
Actually,
something
it's
for us.
extremely
Like, what
expensive.
are you
That is
gonna
why
do
I
for
brought
us
it
just
up
a little bit?
because
Like, what are
we
you
don't
gonna
want
do
to be
for us?
saved either.
That's,
It is. Yeah,
we're
let's say
all
y'all.
in the
We're
same
very
position.
similar. Nobody want to be saved. We're talking about partnerships. He's hard headed,
That's
man. But
exactly.
I'm gonna
That's what I'm
pass the mic.
saying. That
God bless
Yeah.
y'all. I'm gonna sign off. But shout out to woman. Shout out to Rokia. Shout out to Black Beauty, Ola, and Kala, and salute to the Prince. I'm out.
take
Rokoya,
care. Yes,
I'm
please.
back. I'd like to speak with you. So
Yeah,
I don't want to,
go ahead.
I don't want to, you don't want to give up your identity, so I'm not going to do that either. But I
Sure.
would kind of like to, in my mind, solidify that I'm correct in guessing who you are. Are you a medical doctor?
No, not at all. I'm not a medical doctor. My training is in development economics. I came to the US years ago, developed myself in terms of education, master's, doctorate, but then I worked in information technology. I moved to the Silicon Valley and I started a software consulting business, which I run. I still do a little bit, but then after all these talk online and really getting the awakening, some few years ago, I was like, I'm out. So I had always worked with African Americans. I've always been that person who goes out of her way to connect and learn the history, and of course I have my own family knowledge about the history of slavery, how it decimated on my father's side, his family. So I've always had this affinity to the diaspora because I knew that we have in our own family a narrative of people taken in the 1800s. So anyway, I came back to Ghana, and because of I was in software development, I work with biotechs, and I got a good handle of new products that were being developed in the valley. So we got into partnering with some of these brand new technologies. They worked with us in bringing these things and doing some assembly in Ghana to start with. So we did it in Ghana, but the franchise is to go everywhere, in the subcontinent. So my partners are, it's a truly Pan-African thing we're doing. We're working with Kenyans, we're working with South Africans. We just find the right people who believe in the African dream, use African free trade agreements, provisions, and then we start the same company in these countries. So I'm not a medical doctor, but I am in medical devices now because I've just moved in that direction. I think that pretty much answers it for you.
Okay, so you're not the person who I thought you were then.
I'm
Okay.
not actually. I did give you my email sometime. I don't know if it was you. I said you can always connect with me by email, and then I can be a little bit more open about myself.
I don't think I know I did at one point ask to reach out to you, but I don't think I saw where you had posted the email. Are you able to put
Oh,
it in the chat?
I will. I will.
Thank you.
I'll put it in the chat. Okay.
Kala, Kala,
Ola,
Kala,
Ola.
you hitting Africans again, Kala.
I
Hmm?
am not Ola. You know I love you. You know.
You know,
You know
Kala,
I love you, Ola.
we all family, man. I think, we, the more you are coming, the more the bridge will be got. Now we kind of like try to know each other. You understand me? The kind of intermarriage is started going on. So kind of
Okay,
lovey
yo, kid,
dovey
Ola.
started there.
Let me stop you right there. What you said was just key. Do you admit now But now you guys know nothing about us, right? I've been
Yeah,
tell Africa for years. You know nothing about how we think, how we are, our culture, and
yes.
also a lot of people refuse to respect who we are. You know,
Yeah,
they
you
think,
can say,
oh, we
look,
just have to just teach them how to do the Watusi dance, and they'll
no,
be all
no,
right.
no,
No, we're the
no,
people.
no,
We're
no,
real.
Tyler,
We're
you get it
real.
wrong. Tyler, look. You have to understand, most Africans don't know actually what happened. Look, 1978, I was a very little boy when I saw my uncle playing Michael Jackson on the drum. Oh, like all those Michael Jackson type of music there with Afro jean shirt and what they were doing that time. I didn't even know nothing about Michael Jackson. I started knowing something about Michael Jackson in late it's the 80s, really. So the continental Africans don't know nothing about Black America. They don't know nothing about your mentality. They don't know nothing. But the more they start hearing the story, the more they start seeing roots and all these kind of programs that's become to show something of the past. Then they start feeling, whoa, this thing really happened. You understand? We also saw the bright side of United States also. Africa, we thought, oh, Black American people are rich. They give us like Will Smith type of show. They give us different stroke. You know, they show us some family organization like that of Black Americans like Good Time and some of this program we're seeing. We thought they are very rich. They all have we don't know police or racism actually going on in the United States because we saw fine cars. They live in the beautiful houses.
Yeah,
They
do
fly.
got black people live like that. We do got a lot of
And
black people.
so the Africans who don't know nothing about you always see the good side of people and they say, wow, this was but the more by the history of it, Ghana opened the door of year of return. That's when the Africans started saying mostly like physically in TV, like, whoa, this thing really happened, but it's not really in their mind to start thinking about, oh, they said this happened. When I was in secondary school, it just one page slave trade, just one page. So it's not really in our mind. We did see the pain until we start seeing it in TV and everything. Even with what happened in South Africa, actually was not really broadcast in all of Africa. Because most people that have TV at that time was very few. But late 80s, early in between that late 80s, going towards that late 80s, that's when they started seeing things about South Africa was nasty. You understand me? So I think the more we start coming closer, the more we start meeting ourselves, the more we start sharing this. There's a kind of like intermarriage going on, but it's still very, very few. The more you people are coming, the more the Africans and missing, no matter what it is. A Latino, a white man cannot ask me to hate Black America. I'm not going to do it because, first of all, that person look like me. Why should I hate him? You understand me? There's what called
Yeah,
communication.
but you still married a white woman.
Oh no,
That's what I
no,
was
yeah.
gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. You don't even
Okay,
want to make
okay,
black
I know,
children.
but
okay,
listen,
Oh,
Ola, I
okay.
just had to get you. I had to get you on
I
that
understand,
one because
I understand, Rokoya. You see, the truth about that is because in my mind, I don't know nothing about racism really. I've never somebody I've don't know somebody have to hate you because of your skin color
I do
or,
understand.
or
I
the way
do.
you look like. I didn't grow up like that. I was not being programmed like that. I always be programmed. I judge you who you are if you're good or not. Up to today, I'm still like that. I feel some people are bad, some people
that's
are
not
very, very good.
true. That's not true. You're saying that when it comes to because you have a white wife, but the
No, no,
reality
no,
is
no, 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 no,
just
no.
a couple of
Because
nights ago, you're saying you only judge people based on their individual uh I guess character, but just a couple of nights ago you were talking all kinds of crap about Nigerian women based
I
making all kinds of
remember I heard that
generalities.
okay,
one.
okay,
So
okay,
He
yeah,
never
that's not
okay.
dated
Am I
a
because
lying?
Nigerian woman. He never kissed one.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
yeah,
right.
really?
yeah,
You said
yeah.
that they're all.
Okay,
You
okay.
said,
After
listen,
the
hold on,
after
hold on,
the
hold on. Let me finish. Hold on, I want to finish. You
okay,
made
say.
some really nasty
Mhm.
generalizations about Nigerian women, saying that
Uh-huh.
they'll leave you in a heartbeat if they see someone with a better car. The only thing that they're after is money. They don't
Mhm.
care anything about anyone. All they want is money from men. You made all
Uh-huh.
of those generalizations about a
It seems
group
like
of women,
Nigerian women are just any other woman in the world. You
See,
know,
right? And
okay.
your mother is a
Hold
Nigerian
on,
woman.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
But
Because
yet
because
still,
you
you're
said
talking about when you see
no, you
white
said I
people, you judge them
generalized it,
based
but you
on
said I
character. Make it.
generalized it, but I have to defend myself. I said that people talk about Nigerian woman, yes. If you have money, they'll fall into you. If you don't have money, they might be with you, but it's not like when my mother, during my mother time, you understand me, that they have to marry a dude who just have no form on the ground, might be mad. You understand me? Just the same thing I told my senior sister and my junior one, look, you cannot marry for money because it's not going to last. What you seeing that might entice you, that make you, whoa, this guy's a big fish, I need to come to him or whatever, is going to end quick because you're not going to enjoy such an environment and nothing. You have to build with this person. And I'm still in that position. Like, if you go and date somebody for money, it's not going to work. And most Nigerian women, I can't say most, but Nigerian women, when I was in my university those days, look, I went to University of Benin. I know what was going on there. You understand it? I know what was going on. Some guys have girlfriends, but when somebody pump in with his Mercedes Benz into that campus and everything, these guys, they will start, they will dodge from the corner, go and meet this guy, which is true. It's poverty. I said it's still poverty because if you have to compare them with sometimes some Europeans, women that can drive their bicycle, come with wherever they come. You cannot entice some white women with cars. It's not going to work. They will ask you, what kind of job are you doing? How do you got it? You understand? They will make you uncomfortable. You understand me? So that's what I'm still saying. There's nothing bad. If you know your wife, you don't have to show much money or you have money, got it. You can take a walk on the park, sit somewhere, and have conversation. What happened? What happened? If people know each other, good. You understand me? That's still my experience. I've never actually dated a Nigerian girl. I have no Nigerian girlfriend. I've never known to do when I start dating, I want to date was all white people start dating at that time. So the sense of me seeing other girls, some of my friends, some of my sisters, the way they operate, I said, no, this is not good because if you go on cash and you think you have big house, everything, I'm even make an example. If you have a sedan, you have a Jeep. You talk, oh, my sedan, I need that Jeep. But I think you get used to that Jeep also look like a sedan because you're used to the height now. And you're
Hold
not
on, I want
satisfied.
you to listen to me because you're not answering what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you about the specifics of why you see Nigerian women that way. What I'm saying to you is you just said that
Mhm.
you chose a white wife
No, I just said I
because
chose a white wife. No, 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 no. I just said I chose a white wife. So don't put it like that. I didn't
okay,
mention choose.
Rukoya said to you,
Choose.
your wife is white, right?
Yeah.
And you said, no, my wife is white because essentially
Uh,
what you said was she's white because meaning this was a woman you chose to marry that woman, correct?
yes,
Did you not
100%.
choose to marry her?
What?
Did you not choose to marry her?
Yeah, I chose to marry her 28
Okay, so that's what I
years
mean when
ago.
I say you choose. That's all I mean when I say you chose a white wife. That's all I
Yes.
mean.
No, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I was in the
So hold
same.
on, let me finish. I
Mhm.
want you to answer me because I really want to get some clarification here because
Yeah.
this is pervasive within our community. Now, what you're saying to us is that
Mm.
it was okay and acceptable for you to date this white woman even though you were born on the continent, you must have known the history of white people on that continent. But for you, you saw her as an individual white woman,
Mhm.
not as a
Yeah.
white woman that's bearing all of the sins of the white people before her and around her, right? However, when you look at Nigerian women, you do not
Mhm.
see them as individual Nigerian women. You only see them as what you claim are the experiences of you and your friends. You don't see that Nigerian woman
No,
as an
no.
individual, but hold on, who is not bearing the sins of other Nigerian women. You see her as a Nigerian woman who is only after money. And I'm trying to understand how is it that when you look at that white woman, you don't see her for the sins of white people. But when you look at a Nigerian woman or a black woman, I'll extend it even to that because that's the impression I get from you is that that thinking that you have
No,
extends to all of us as black
I
women.
also think
How
I
is it
also
that you
think you're
don't
getting
see us
wrong
as
also.
individuals?
I think we should not be talking about white, whatever I said. But what you said, because I said I've never been programmed to see race in my head. No, I'm not conscious or whatever it is. I see you individually. If you're nice, you're nice. I just judge you now, as I'm knowing you, not on the past of whatever happened in the past. You understand me?
But why
And based
isn't
on
that
that,
extended to
based,
Nigerian women or black women? Why don't you see them as individuals for the
hold
individual
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I said you see you want madam, look, I'm not going to divide for the truth. The truth can be bitter sometime. You understand? It can be hard to say. Go to Nigeria right now. Let a girl that is dating a boy now, they're struggling, but she's a very beautiful girl, right? Then a guy comes in, right, clean, is soft life, looking, something else. That girl just a matter of time before she will switch to that. There's nothing wrong about it. If you don't, if that guy is not for you, it's not for you. What you have to do, try to have a soft life too. But I'm not going to say, oh, they're not like that. Nigerian women are so committed. All of no, 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 no. I, I've seen it. I'm a grown-up man. I'm old school dude. New ones, old ones. I have sisters, I have cousins. I see the way they operate. If you got money, the way they will look at you is different. Some of my sisters even married some dudes in overseas that they didn't even like. And if I tell them, would you even like this guy if this guy was not somewhere in overseas? They will not even answer you. They say, oh, I don't know. But let a guy like this guy, a guy that far more better looking than this dude come, but doesn't have money, you would tell the guy, fuck off. You understand me? Just because this guy came from overseas and you don't know him, and because you want to go to overseas, that's where you date him. That's where you with him. So it's this, so I know their mentality. I know the way they operate. I don't operate on that level. I don't believe money works. I believe true heart works. Money just for a short time. But I know a lot of Nigerian must say, so if you don't get money, I still have to come and phobia and come suffer with you. Yeah, you create, those kind of things. But at the end of the day, all these things will break off. If you really truly love that person, that's that it's going to last. Because love hold the
Yeah,
relationship. Don't make sure
Kiddo,
money
hold
be
up. I
dead.
say
You
before
know,
I jump
it's
off.
not. I just want to quickly respond to Ola because Ola is just proving the point that I'm making, right? Which is that there's groups of black people who, regardless of what the situation is, will always prefer a white person with the history of whiteness, regardless of what the situation is. Now, you just proved exactly what I'm trying to say. These Nigerian women who are prioritizing a man that is financially stable or a man that has money, as you're putting it, are doing so because they're trying to survive. They're trying to survive in an environment that where there's tons of things stacked against them precisely because of the actions of the white people that colonized that continent. And those women are trying to survive. There's no way that you can say every single Nigerian woman has that mentality. I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of Nigerian on a continent of millions of people. There are hundreds of thousands of Nigerian women that do not have that perspective and that do want to
That's
find
what
a
I say
man that they can
poverty. Those I say,
with.
I say poverty can play into it also. I say poverty. I say, but
Okay,
if
but you the
if
point I'm
poverty
trying to
can make
make
you
is your
poverty can make you have
perspective.
poverty can make you make some choices because you want to survive. But if you're not on that poverty level, you don't want to upgrade yourself, but you
Okay,
think I can upgrade
Kiddo, let me
myself,
say this because I got to get back to work. I just want to say, yeah, see, we got a lot of problems in our community, both sides of the Atlantic, right? We all got things we got to work out with African Americans, Nigerians, everybody else got problems. Nobody's an angel here. Black America got its problems too, right? But what cannot keep going on is when people decide to ignore their problems that they have in Nigeria, a lot of them, in Ghana and all these other countries right here, come to America with a clean slate and be like, I am going to deliver these African American slave descendants because they don't know their history. They don't know their culture. I'm here to enlighten them, uplift them, invest in their communities. They can't do a damn thing for themselves. We're gonna. You keep doing that, and the ADOS FBA movement is gonna grow. That's all I got
no,
to say. You know.
no, Kala, you have to promote positivities among the group. You see, we're cousins, and be cousins, we're not just cousins like that. Blood makes us to be cousins. I think the more we come close, the more we know each other, the more the gap will be.
I
My
think a
father
lot of
married.
African
Hold on,
Americans
Kala,
know
Kala, Kala,
Africa.
Kala. Let me tell you, my father married his second wife, which is a black American woman, in 1976. You understand? In 1976. He brought that woman to Nigeria. It's in between late 80s, right? That woman become a teacher. To your to today, that is second wife, left Nigeria after the death of my dad, and she was a teacher, and the children were still very close as family. We all work together. We bear the same last name, and I don't call her children half brother. I call brother, full brother. So one thing you should understand, Kala, is this: the more we start coming close together, the intermarriage is already going on, but it's a little bit not so much. Intermarriages and some other things sometimes cover a gap and destroy this stereotype of whatever they want to call. Look, black Americans have already achieved doctoring, doctors, lawyers, and everything for a very long time. My John still live in the state. He live in LA. He's have a black American lawyer. So whatever Africans are achieving there, these are just what we call new ones. The black Americans already achieved these things already because they've been there for 400 years. You understand me? So I'm not really buying into all these things. Oh, Africans are doing better. No, the ones they have already achieved these things before the Africans even started coming over. You know, so we just have
I'm
to
glad you said
put out
that.
the we just
Well,
have to put out
listen,
the negativities and come in with the positivities. We
well,
like each other,
let me
we love each other, and we're family. Thank you.
That's
let me
it.
say something to you, Ola. The truth of the matter is there's ignorance on both sides. Everything that Kala said that Africans do, it's some of it is true, but African Americans do the same to Africans too. It is based on ignorance because all of us, I speak more about Africans because I am African, but I've lived in America more years than I've been on this planet. I went to America when I was very young. So my influences actually here in Ghana, they all think I'm African American for some reason, just the way I dress, the way I come across, and I'm very, very, very assertive. So the most African women kind of tend to be a little bit, we don't want to get into that, but we're a little bit more uh, restrained into how we talk. I go into a place, I'm like, who's the boss? I need to talk, and those type of things. But the truth of the matter is, it's as hard as it is to accept. I think everybody must carry their own burden. African Americans must work on themselves also improving their image of Africa because a lot of their their perceptions of Africa is distorted, same as we Africans have distorted perceptions about African Americans. You talked about African Americans who were rich and have all these things, but the popular media presentation of African Americans in some parts of Africa is that they're violent, they're gun toting, their communities are very, very violent, and these are things that many Africans actually literally feel when they go. When I went to America years ago, I was so scared. I mean, I would lock my doors because I went as a foreign student, and the first thing they told us when we went to our orientation is stay away from these people, stay away from these communities, don't get on the bus here. And so we were literally afraid of gun violence from people. It took me some time to start questioning that and saying, man, people look just like me. Why am I so afraid of them? What are they going to do to me? And then that began to break the back. Africans don't have that self introspection. We also say these horrible things about African Americans. Do you know how many Africans I check every single day who would tell me the same stupid things that they hear? I mean, oh, African Americans are lazy. They can't do that. They have all these opportunities in their country. And they're Africans, yes, say that because that's how we've been programmed also. And it's very, very, very bad. So what Kala is saying, there's some truth into it. But my issue with Kala is he should know better. He stood as somebody promoting Pan-Africanism. And for many years I listened to him. And to have him turn like that is painful to see and listen to. Because it means he never truly believed in what he was promoting.
I
Because
agree with you.
if you can turn your back like that and sound like that,
I, I,
you're dangerous. You're a
His
dangerous
tone was
person
very
now.
I think
his tone
Kala
was
believe
very
it.
different from how it was years ago.
Kala,
Dangerous. And I wanted to tell them that because, and I'm sorry he
Kala
left before I said that. Because
Kala have
you
a
you you
Liberia wife. I think Kala have Liberia wife. I think
no,
Kala
but you
just,
see,
but Kala
you
just, I
can't
think he
visit
just,
your own
he just
personal things, your disappointments on the whole movement. We have moments of despair. But for years, I would follow his BIAO stuff. They wanted to do this in Africa. And we all are guilty. So don't point to Africans, and Africans don't point to African Americans. Let's point to ourselves.
I think
Let's
this is just
work on
internet.
ourselves.
My strategy is just internet battle. You know, I don't think in real life I've met a lot of Black American guys when I was in my time playing basketball, both in Germany and some of them would also playing basketball at that time. And coming close to them, they don't see me different. We in the same car. We go to clubbing, party sometime, and we eat the same. Sometimes they share me their food. Some I learn some of their culture with them also. I met some, and I think my GS have a lot of Black Americans friends doing business together. They call each other and everything. I think just an internet stuff. I think yes, for me coming contact first time with a Black American woman, it's as 70s as a little boy. I was a little bit shocked because the accent is different, the way they operate is different, and I didn't know nothing about peanut butter until that woman showed me peanut butter, and I was, what is this? I could see it was not, but be matched and smooth up, and teach me some certain pancake and all these things. And time goes on. I taste some
Do
of
you like
their
pancake?
what.
Do you like pancake?
Not really, but sometimes I like eating it, but not just all the time.
Not your main thing. Okay.
So, but I didn't know nothing about pancake until she started doing pancake. So I think they are very nice people. Geneva is very nice. My uncle married to a black American woman. He live in Texas. I'm inside my family. We kind of like international there. So I don't think sometimes trope, but I think black American people. I think with the way they fought, they are very resilient. They who they are, that what they are. They're strong. Whatever they passed through, whatever they did to them over there, we start knowing slowly and started studying the whole thing. I think yeah, I do like their spirit. But that doesn't mean that there are not some few. There's some bad Africans. There's some good Africans. But the more we start coming close together, the more we start actually knowing ourselves. You understand me? And some people say, "Oh, but you married to a white woman," but that doesn't mean that because I'm married to a white woman, that might be the person soul that I love. You understand me? That is soul that I want to be around with. You know, that doesn't mean I will not also see people who are bad, who are good, and what they want to be. You understand me? May God bless them. I think sooner or later, Ghana opened the door in this present time now with the YouTube and everything. Ghana just saw a year of return. Everybody started seeing them. They flocked into Ghana. From Ghana, I think they start spreading everywhere now. They came to Nigeria last year. Was a lot of them that came to Nigeria. Nigeria never expect that they will ever that these people will come to Nigeria. They knowing each other. I think with time, things will be more simple for them to know much about Africans, and I wish Africa also know much about them also in their territory. No hate, nothing. I think the more we know each other, I think the more we'll be at peace. You understand me? That's just the truth.
That's beautiful, brother. No, no hate. That's beautiful.
Anyway, hi folks. I have an early morning presentation, so I'm out. Nice chatting. Bye everyone.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Dennis. I'm good too. Also, I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.
So, okay, bye. Okay, Beauty, you still live in Nigeria? Okay, so good.
All right, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'll put the link in the chat room. I had to go get Massa. Grass cutter sounds about good right now. So link is in the chat room. Links in the chat room. We'll wait a couple minutes. If you guys want to call in after the conversation, more luck with to call in and answer the conversation. Yes, I'm back. I had to go get Massa. I apologize. What happened when I left? What happened? All right, everyone. We're going to close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, search for Haru. Peace.